Chat, what's up, chat? Big news today. Big news today, people. A lot to talk about, people. A lot to talk about, people. Special guest coming on in 15 minutes. Let's lock in for that. Special guest coming on in 15 minutes. Let's lock in for that. Who do you guys think it is? What's going on, chat? Everyone lock in. USATF controversy. Plus, we'll talk about what happened this weekend in the track world. The brutal upset. Cole Hawker goes down, 5th place. Insane, insane. Plus, I want to talk about a third subject today. A crazy doping scandal I read on Let's Run. It's insane. But right now, first, people, as you guys know, roll call, roll call, roll call. Say what's up. What's going on, Sarah? What's up, Neil? What's up, Sam Montgomery? All hail the king real quick. All hail the king. Then we're going to lock into this subject pretty quick because a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Special guest coming on in 15. I don't know, Owen. Who else do you think the special guest is? I mean, it doesn't take a... Yeah. I don't have any other friends. All hail the king, first off. All hail the king. Guys, I'm feeling pretty sick. I'm feeling pretty sick. I think I'm getting sick, but it's tough. We're going to Europe this week. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to Europe this week. We're going to lock in for that. If we're sick, we're sick. The king does what the king needs to do. Big subjects today for those of you coming in. We got the USATF half marathon controversy. We're going to hear the story from someone who had boots on the ground at the event. What can we do to reconcile this situation? What can we do, people? For those of you that don't know, the top 3 athletes at the USATF half marathon champs were taken off course in the 12th mile of the race. And they were all screwed out of getting on the USATF team, screwed out of the prize money. It was the screw job of 2026. USATF, are they responsible? Who else is involved? What do we know? We'll find out today on the Athlete Special Show. That's what it is. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, read the recent Let's Run article. Look, I have nothing to do with Let's Run, but read the recent Let's Run article on the Iowa State doper, Seth Clevenger. Unbelievable story. Insane, insane, insane. Okay, no more songs, but okay, I'll say hello. Roll call, people. Everyone lock the F in. Lock the F in for this. What I find most crazy about this whole USATF thing is that this is the 2nd year in a row the Atlanta Track Club has messed up course management. They screwed up the Atlanta Marathon last year too. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I do know someone who's involved with the Atlanta Track Club, and we'll try to get some info from him throughout this stream. So one of my boys might be able to give us some info. Is Alio a special guest? Oh, of course. Alio is the special guest. I was pissed at that mistake. The king, yep, we got the king for Neil. Still hurting from the Cole Hawker call. Yeah, the Cole Hawker call was tough. I'm very disappointed in Cole Hawker. We're going to have to get him on the podcast at some point this week just to yell at him for that terrible, terrible tactics he made. But no, we'll talk about some of that stuff. Maybe we'll loosen ourselves into this stream. We got 12 minutes. Allie's locking in. We got Skippy in the chat today. Skippy is back. Skippy, you might be losing your mod status because you really just were not here all weekend when I needed you. So I almost had to lock in and have another mod, but I did not get another mod. But yeah, a lot to talk about today on the show. A lot to talk about. Happy Monday. What's going on, people? How is your Monday going? Allie did a good job at the half champs for sure, for sure. She did really well. But, you know, the disappointing thing is that she doesn't even get to enjoy her race experience. It's so, this whole situation has ruined it for all the other athletes. So it's not just the top 3 that kind of got screwed. It's like Allie doesn't get to really enjoy talking about her race because, you know, everyone's thinking about the top 3 athletes that got screwed, which, you know, is understandable, but it's a bitter feeling. As an athlete, it sucks. It sucks. So yeah, those of you coming in, we're going to be talking about the USATF half marathon scandal of 2026. Big show tonight on the Athlete Special Show. We're also going to recap a little bit of the USATF 15 results from yesterday, the 8 results on the men's and women's side, and the 3K, obviously Cole Hawker pulled off the 3K, but let me down in the 15. He let me down. Thank God I didn't bet on the 15. I'll just say that. W, the Athlete Special sign. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, the new Athlete Special sign is up. Huge W's for that. Spencer, are you a Trump supporter? No, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not. But I'll say this. We won't get political on the Athlete Special Show. The Athlete Special Show should be the show where you escape from the politics of the world. Let us enjoy track for a little bit. Let us enjoy running. Let's get political about running. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, we're not a political person. We're not going to dive into that world. That's not what this is about. You know, this is not what the show is about, but we are political about running. That's what we're political about. Anyway, the sign does not show up on the screen. What do you mean the sign obviously shows up on the screen? That's, you know, Joseph, you're not going to troll me on that. I can see, guess what? I can see the screen too. I've got 3 screens up right now, so you're a bad liar. You're a bad liar. Anyway, yes, so the 3 athletes. Okay, we'll keep the roll call coming, people. We'll keep the roll call coming because this is a big controversial day, and what better guest to have on the Athlete Special show in 10 minutes, people. 10 minutes before the Allie-O, the queen herself, Allie-O, locks in, gets on stream, tells her side of the story, lets us know what she thinks, because, you know, I know women's running, but she lives women's running. So Allie's going to be perfect to have on. Allie was the first athlete to talk to Jess McClain after the race. Jess McClain was the athlete who was supposed to win the race. So Allie's got some insight there. And I mean, I'm like a drama person, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like the Athlete Special. I'm like not in the mix on these things, like, but Allie actually cares about these people. So I think it's going to be great for you guys to hear from her as well. Hear some of her ideas about what they can do to reconcile this situation. The reason this is a big deal in the track world and I guess the running world in general is because these athletes, this was the World Championship qualifier, number 1. This is the World Championship qualifier, number 1. Number 2, this was number 2, the prize money was $20K for the win. So look, I mean, $20K is a lot of money. I would even go as to say $20K can be life-changing depending on your current financial situation. $20K go a long way for me. I'll tell you that for free. $20K would do a lot for me. It would probably do a lot for a lot of you guys. Maybe some of the rich people in the chat, $20K is nothing for them, but at the end of the day, $20K is a lot of money to lose out on for someone else's negligence. And yeah, Allie did end up winning some money. Allie won $500 for 8th place. She was the last person to get money. So Allie got $500. If something happens in this situation where they change the results and Allie goes from 8th to 11th, she will happily give her money back. And I think that, I mean, every athlete will as well. No, the thing is, athletes, they don't care about the money. They're not doing it for the money. And, you know, guys like the Athlete Special, we're in it for the bag. We're in it for the bag for sure. That's why we're at the local 5Ks. But the Allies of the world, the true pure athletes, they're doing it for the competition. They want to know where they line up against the best runners in the country. So Allie would easily, you know, return that money. I don't think she's even received it yet, but there's still a lot. I think that the public pressure with this half marathon situation will be it'll brew up big time. It's going to brew up big time for sure. And I would assume that USATF / Atlanta Track Club are going to be pinned up against a wall and have to let these athletes compete at the World Championships. So I think we have till May to make that happen. I don't think that that's going to be a problem. Also, there's no doubt that these 3 athletes who got screwed over, and actually there was a 4th athlete. No one talks about the 4th athlete. I'll be asking Allie about that, but the story says, at least online and from what I've heard generally, that 3 athletes were taken off course, right? So the top 3 athletes were taken off course on the 12th mile of the race at the USATF Half Marathon Champs in the women's race. The top 3 athletes were taken off course by the lead car at the 12th mile. They were definitely going to go 1, 2, 3. But the 4th place athlete actually did go the wrong way as well, too, but only for about 150 meters. So they turned around and then they ended up finishing 2nd place overall. So this athlete got screwed over for sure as well. This 4th place athlete who ended up finishing 2nd overall got screwed over as well for sure. So she is in a tough spot too. She still gets to make the world team, but she also got technically beat by an athlete that she was beating. So there's definitely, you know, we should feel for the person who got 2nd overall, who would have finished 4th overall. I know it's kind of confusing how I'm saying this, but Allie will clean up my confusing questions once she gets on stream. And everyone, while you're here, lock in for questions for Allie. She'll be good for asking questions too. So yeah, she'll be great to ask questions to. So just come prepared with your questions for her. And yeah, Atlanta Track Club posted the entire race. If you skip to about 128, you can see them get steered off the course and the confusion unfold. Noah, is that on YouTube? Is that on YouTube? Because we could pull that up right now just to start the stream off hot. We could start the stream off hot with that. Yes, Carrie Elwood, I believe that's the athlete I'm referring to who finished second overall. She gets to make the world team, but it's also a little icky because she got screwed as well. She didn't get to beat the person who beat her, and then she didn't even get to compete against the three athletes who were in front of her. So the whole situation sucks. In my opinion, I think what they should do is this. I think that they should let the athletes who finish 1 through 8 keep their prize money, and then also pay out the three athletes who got screwed over their prize money as well. I guarantee you that fans, there's a lot of rich running people out there. I guarantee you that the rich running fans will just like create some GoFundMe to like pay these athletes out. But that's not what we want. We want USATF to pay for this. We want USATF, potentially Atlanta Track Club. I'm hesitant to put down Atlanta Track Club because USATF is the governing body. They should be responsible overall for this flub. And the whole situation is tough because it really was just one person who made a bad mistake, and mistakes happen, and that's okay. You know, we've all made mistakes in our lives. We're not going to like send death threats to the person who made the mistake and led them off course, but it's really about how the situation has been handled thus far. USATF has essentially said that we can't do anything about it. They talk about a rule that says athletes are technically responsible for knowing the course of a race, and that's just like, come on, give me a break here. Look, if I go the wrong way in a local 5K, who cares? It's not a big deal because they're not marked out well. But if I'm fighting for a USATF half marathon title to go to the World Championships in September, and I get steered off course by the biker or whatever, the lead car in the end, come on, that's tough. That's not my fault. There's about 50 turns on this course. So what, now it's the athlete's job to basically study and get like a degree in knowing how to read maps and understand how to basically know exactly where to go at every turn of the course. You're locked in trying to compete. I'm telling you, if this was like something that happened in track, this would be equivalent to, this is what I said the other day. This would be equivalent to if Cole Hocker, Yard Naguse, and Nico Young are kicking down the home stretch at the end of the 3K at the U.S. men's final, and some random fan tackles all three of them off the track. I'm not kidding. It's basically the same thing. That's basically what happened to these athletes. It's basically the same exact thing. So yeah, it's tough. The person who made this mistake probably will get fired, and you know, it's obviously deserved. And you know, we're not here to blame individual people. We're here to just hold a governing body responsible. I think everyone's on the same page with this situation. We've got a few minutes before Allie's going to come in here and talk a little bit. I'll be trying to ask her Q&As, so she's going to probably talk about her own race, her experience with it, and it is what it is. On what she talks about, we'll ask her questions. But quickly, I wanted to say too, maybe on this stream, it depends on how long Allie wants to talk on this. We might do a short stream. I'm not feeling the best. I don't know what it is going on right now, people. I don't know if it's you guys as well, but why is it's just this endless sickness is going around. I already got sick once this winter. I can't afford to get sick again. I've been good too. I've been locked in, and it's just, I guarantee you what, we got 120 people in here right now. I bet about 20 of you guys are sick too right now. Like, it's just whatever is going around, it just won't stop. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So the other thing, we want to get into some stuff on the just looking at the race results for the USATF track champs this weekend. I live streamed it all weekend. W's in the chat if you were here. Shout out to all you guys who came in for that. That was a lot of fun. I had a good time doing that this weekend. But also, guys, like I said, I have nothing to do with Let's Run, and I'm not here to whatever. I'm not getting paid to promote them or anything, but I went on, I'm an avid Let's Run user, especially their articles, because I'm just trying to get information for the streams and stuff. Today, I stumbled upon a crazy article. Let me know if you read it as well. I had no clue about this situation. I'm just starting to get more involved in running news as I'm live streaming more, but if you guys get a chance, you should read this article by Jonathan Galt. It was crazy. I thought it was insane. It's about a former Iowa State athlete who essentially allegedly was taking EPO at school, made some big jumps, got kicked out of Iowa State or suspended from the team, and then he transferred to Rowan University, a D3 school, and now he's breaking every D3 record. And there is like, listen, there's pretty good evidence, I would say at the very least, that he's almost certainly doping. You know, some people may say he's not, but the article kind of leaves no stone unturned. So it's a pretty crazy read. You guys should do that if you get a chance. Again, I don't have any affiliation with Let's Run. But they do make good articles from time to time. It's a fantastic article. You could go on their website and read it for free in your free time. I was just scrolling it for like 20 minutes and I was like, what? This is crazy. It dives into sort of just how easy it is to get away with doping, especially in the NCAA. And it just blows my mind, because also the kid had such big improvements in this last year. And I'm like, geez, like it just opens your eyes up. And, you know, this kid was even taking, allegedly, he was taking some substances that weren't even banned by the NCAA. So crazy article. I think there's a long Let's Run thread that has known about this subject for a while. I hadn't seen anything on it. Again, I'm just starting to dip my toes into running events and news and stuff. So this blew me away. So when you get a chance, read that article. Crazy. And it's an ongoing situation, because I think D3 NCAAs are coming up and this kid is just eligible to compete. And he's like almost certainly doping. I'll say allegedly because I don't want to get sued by him, but based upon that article, there's pretty substantial evidence that the kid might be for sure doping. Yeah. Anyway, so Allie's not in here yet. We'll stall a little bit. We'll stall a little bit by, I think maybe what we can do is pull up. I think I asked someone if there's anything on YouTube that we can show just to give you guys even more context. This half marathon situation, the half marathon screw job of 2026 is what I'm calling it. We'll call it something gate. What's a good term, chat? What's a good term, chat? Something gate. Lead car gate. Doesn't hit. I can't think. I'm not good off the top of my head. Oh well, guys, the special guest has arrived. The special guest has arrived in the chat. Everybody, W's for Allie in the chat. We'll give Allie a little Royal Highness entrance. W's in the chat for Allie. W's in the chat. We've got a chair for Allie. That's how serious this is, people. This is how serious this is. You know what? The stage is yours. Guys, for the first time ever, the king is going to have to give up his seat. The king will keep his crown, but the king is going to have to give up his seat. W's in the chat for Allie. Look at all these W's we have. We've got a big crowd. People clearly are passionate about this situation. I'm going to finish this quick monologue and then I'll have to hand over. Does Allie get a crown? Does Allie get a crown, people? Because we do have one more crown available.
Oh, do I get a crown? This could be huge for me, everyone. I've dreamed of this moment all my life. If I get a crown, I will have peaked. I will have peaked for sure. What were you talking about with gate? I heard you saying gate.
Take the big seat.
Okay.
Take the big seat.
I'll take the big papa seat.
All hail the queen. All hail the queen, chat.
Okay. It does not fit my head. It doesn't go on my head.
Oh, did I get it stuck in your hair? Okay, we'll turn the music off. Holy cringe alert. Is this cringe alert, people?
I think I have to take the crown off.
This is okay. Crowns. Okay. Maybe you want the. Actually, you know what? This is actually a kind of serious chat you're going to be having.
I feel like it should be turn gate because they turn.
Turn gate. Turn gate. Are we Wing the chat for turn gate?
Turn gate.
I was saying lead car gate. Lead car gate. Here, and you can scoot in so you can really.
Okay, someone's saying the lawn chair. Yeah, you guys, that's what we have, okay? The lawn chair is
we have a house, but we still haven't furnished it. I'll tell you that.
We furnished some of it. And hey, we've got this nice sign. You guys, this was my Valentine's Day gift to Spencer. So, you know, let me know what you think of it. I think it looks great. It's also like the perfect size.
It is great. Also, Chad, can you hear Allie loud and clear? Do we need to sit a little closer to the mic? I just want to make sure. when we get this chat going and Allie kind of just talks about her experience at the half marathon champs, we can all hear everyone just fine. Because yeah, I'm actually shocked that we got this much of a crowd for this. So clearly this is a big deal.
Yeah, and you just started, right?
Yeah, for sure. Audio is good. So, oh, okay, someone's saying louder, please.
Should I just shout?
I would just sit a little closer. So
I'm just gonna like get it because you do talk louder than me.
yeah, don't worry.
The
I
don't really want to like shout.
Okay, so chat, deep chat today, big chat. Hey guys, keep following the Athlete Special Show. Always here with the live news. We are 5 days straight streaming. I've streamed so much I'm getting sick for sure. And I've neglected making a YouTube video, so just follow the streams.
Yeah, Spencer just keeps complaining to me that he doesn't know what he's gonna do for his next YouTube video, but then instead of doing it, he just streams again. It's all he wants to do.
It is because we hang out with the chat, we have a good time, but also whatever. I'll get into my own personal issues going on with my running stuff, but that's a story for another day. The story right now is the Atlanta Half Marathon Championships. Firstly, Allie, just talk to the viewers about your own race experience. This is your chance to kind of be able to talk a little bit about your race experience before we get into the controversial stuff.
Yeah. So, okay, first off, this was the US Half Marathon Championships. It was hosted in Atlanta by Atlanta Track Club. They hosted it because basically different race organizations bid for who gets to host these championship type races, and Atlanta won the bid, so they got to host. I will say that as far as athlete accommodations go, they did such a good job, and like the hotel was amazing. They provided really good meals for the athletes, great access to the bib pickup and stuff like that. Everything was going so smooth, so well, so easy for the athletes. Race morning was also great, like easy warm-up spots, all of that. Anyways, race starts. This course was crazy hilly. So there was 860 feet of elevation gain in the course for the half marathon, which is like so much compared to most half marathon courses where you'll have like 50 to 100 maybe, especially when you're trying to run fast. So this was very hilly. It started on a steep downhill and then went uphill for like a mile. And then the rest of the race, it was just either up or down. There was pretty much 0 flat sections in this race. And I found it really difficult. Like immediately, I feel like my legs just felt tired. But I don't know if I felt bad that day or if that's just how my legs were always going to feel on a course that was that hilly. So I'm just really unsure about that. But yeah, anyways, felt like I was on life support by mile 4, but then managed to hold it together, hang on, and just continually use the downhills to try to recover. And I was able to just like get in this little pack of like 2 to 3 people with McKenna Morley, Rachel Smith, Maggie Montoya, Jessica Gockley Day. Like we were all kind of working together and off each other to just try to like catch up to people who were falling off the lead pack. And so I was pretty much just doing that, just like chugging along, trying to hold it together from 4 until like 10. And then at 10 I was alone and I was just watching Rachel Smith's back, like trying to hold that gap around where she was, and then just, low-key dying but holding it together. And then when we got to mile 12, it was pretty much downhill the rest of the way. So then I was really able to rip and started getting some good momentum. I was catching up to the people in front of me and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna be able to catch these people, hopefully outkick them at the end. Like this is really, it hasn't been the best race, but I feel like I held it together so well, and now I'm going to be able to finish strong, which is amazing. And then I have like 400 meters to go, and Jess McLean comes by me, which I was so thrown off by because she had been at the front of this race, and I had no idea what had happened at all. Like no one in the race knew what had happened. She comes by me and I go with her and then end up out kicking her in the end. Because of course I'm just in race mode. Like anyone that's by me at the end of a race, I'm gonna try to beat. I'm gonna be kicking and fighting for every single spot. So that's exactly what I did. And then I finished and I had no idea what place I was in. I had no idea why Jess was next to me, and I asked her and she was like, we got led the wrong way. And I was just immediately like, I am so sorry. That's so shitty. And then Emma Grace Hurley finished. And then shortly after her, Edna Kerr got finished. And everyone's in turmoil. Everyone's in chaos. Like, no one knows what happened or what they're going to do to resolve the situation. Everyone is just like so profusely apologizing and trying to like comfort the three women that were led off course who had a lead. And like Molly Bourne, who was the official winner of the race, feels so horrible. Like, I talked to her, she's just won a US championship, but she feels zero excitement. She just feels guilty for winning because she feels like she doesn't deserve it and these other women should have had it. And like, it's not on her. Like, that is not her fault. Like, she shouldn't be made to feel that way, but obviously she does, because this race was just not well executed. Basically, what happened was at about mile 12 of the race, they were supposed to go straight, but the lead car took a left turn, and Jess McLean, Emma Grace Hurley, and Edna Kurgat all followed the lead car. They went down that street for about 400 to 500 meters before they were alerted that they were going the wrong way. And then they turned around and still finished the race. And if you go back and look at their splits, they did an incredible job of like maintaining their pace and did not let up, even though obviously their race had just gotten thrown out the window. Like, they still finished so strong. And yeah, I just like basically feel horrible for them, and the situation is awful. And the hard part about it is that it's really difficult to like resolve it in a way that's fair to everyone. But I do think that there are some ways that it could be resolved. Like, we could go back and look and see how much time they spent on this section of the course that was not the course, and just subtract that from their overall time, which still is like not even fully fair to them, because obviously it's going to add time to their race if they are tiring themselves out in this extra distance. But still, like, subtract that time and those three would have been top three. In addition to that, they could pay out those three women as 1, 2, 3 with the prize money, while still paying the women that finished officially 1, 2, 3. And then also, like, they could find some way to take them to world championships, because like, they really should have been the top three. And I think every athlete who was in that race agrees with that. And no athlete wants to take a spot that they didn't earn. And no athlete wants to take prize money that we didn't earn. And so, like, if USATF wanted to make these decisions and change the results, I don't think any of the athletes in the race would complain. However, USATF has released a statement that basically says, we acknowledge a mistake was made. It is not the athlete's fault that they took this wrong turn. However, there's not a rule in our rule book that addresses this exact situation, so we can't do anything to change it. Results stand. And it's just bullshit, because just because there's not a rule in their rule book that addresses exactly what happened, it doesn't mean that nothing should be done. It just means that they need to create a rule or create a petition or create some options and get approval from whoever needs to approve to be able to make changes here, because it's not fair to the athletes to be punished for a mistake that the race and the race organizers made. And obviously, I'm also not trying to like call out this lead car person and say he's super incompetent, because everyone makes mistakes, but those mistakes should be on the people and the organizations that made them, not on the athletes who were affected by the mistakes. And also, I feel like at a championship race like this, it's pretty inexcusable. Like, there should be some sort of foolproof methods at hand that make this impossible to happen. Like, GPS technology exists, that should be programmed onto the lead cart, where if any sort of wrong turns are made, there will be an immediate alert. Like, you can put a route on your Koros watch, and I'm not saying that anyone in a road race should do that, because like, I would never think to do that, but that should be in the lead cart. Like, they shouldn't be able to go the wrong way without knowing immediately. So anyways, yeah, that's basically the situation at hand. It's really hard for the athletes that were led the wrong way. But I also think it's really hard for the athletes that were in the race, especially the ones that placed in the top 3, because they are in a situation where they technically qualified for world championships, but probably feel some amount of guilt for taking those top 3 spots when they weren't in those unless the wrong turn was made. So it's a difficult situation for everyone. And if people want to go, tag USATF in their stories, you can share posts from Jess McLean, Emma Grace Hurley, David Roach. I made one, Sidious Mag has made some. Share the post, call out USATF. I think it's important that they're held accountable here because USATF gets away with so much. And the head of USATF, Max Siegel, right?
Mm-hmm.
He makes like $2 million a year. Like, take it out of your paycheck and pay these people some prize money because they deserve to be compensated for a race that was ruined, that they basically had in the bag. Like I said, the last mile was downhill. So, like, there weren't going to be huge blow-ups in that, and they had a sizable lead on the rest of the field.
So one thing I wanted to ask, also guys, W monologue from Allie. I wanted to interrupt her a few times, but she was cooking so hard I couldn't stop. The cook was in the kitchen, and that was just, what a W monologue from Allie. We're gonna have to clip that up. Clippers will clip that up. And yeah, unbelievable monologue there. But also that comes from the heart. You can tell that she was cooking. So huge W's for Allie on that. So concise, such good. This is why we have the best guest on ever today.
Oh,
best
wait,
guest.
I do see an important comment that, thank you for that.
Okay, because there's people commenting stuff. I want to say, first off, we do have video footage that we can show of the situation that maybe would be cool to show you on screen, so maybe you can analyze it. Someone tagged in the chat, they said Atlanta Track Club posted a video hour 27 in, so we'll go to that in a little bit just to analyze that, just so, because Allie might be able to better describe what was going on there, because for the viewer it's a little confusing. We're not actually there. So
yeah.
And sorry, the last thing I did want to ask though, because I don't want to leave this stone unturned, is I read an article recently. There was a 4th athlete that did go off course as well. I don't know if you are aware of that, but a 4th athlete did go off course. So I just want to make sure she gets her flowers as well.
Okay.
She ended up, it was the athlete who ended up finishing 2nd overall.
Okay, so that was Carrie Elwood.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she had gone off course.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here, we're looking at an article right now. Here we go. Carrie, what's her name? Read this.
Carrie Elwood.
This is a quote from Carrie Elwood. Just because I want to make sure she's being talked about as well, because I feel bad she got screwed too and no one's talking about her. So she said, I was in 4th place and the top 3 were all ahead of me. 150 meters maybe ahead of me, Elwood explained. I started following them and I probably went 150 meters down. Then a guy on a motorcycle came up behind me and was like, "You're going the wrong way." I turned, looked at him and said, "No, I'm not. All the leaders are in front of me." He was like, "No, you're going the wrong way. I'm going to tell them to turn around." And then it says Elwood got back on course and finished 2nd in 109.47. So yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's I just want to.
Yeah, no, that's important because I didn't know that she had gone off.
No one's talking about her.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know if you have info on this, but how, because it would be, I guess she was 1 mile to go. Elwood was in 4th, and then she also goes off course as well. She probably would have still finished 4th if the race was cleanly done. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know because
it seems like that because she was only 4 seconds behind first, and it sounds like she ran an extra 200 or 300 meters. So I think that that she would have gotten 4th. So yeah, the results were completely thrown off. But the comment I wanted to address is that someone said, will the other athletes just decide not to go and then let the 3 go to world championships? And that would be such a good plan. However, the selection procedures for this race are that the top 3 get auto spots, and if one of them turns it down, it goes to 4th. If 2 of them turn it down, it goes to 5th. But that's as far as the drop down goes. After fifth, they do not go further down the list. And then it just goes to a committee decision based off of World Athletics rankings. And so that if all the athletes that qualified according to this race turned it down, then it would just go to World Athletics rankings, and the women who would have placed top 3 are not necessarily the 3 top ranked half marathon runners in the US. Now, obviously, they could go do races and try to earn that ranking, and if everyone gives up their spot and they are able to get that ranking, then USATF could select them according to those already set out selection procedures, but we can't all just give up our spots and pass it along the line until it gets to them. That's unfortunately not how it works for the selection for this race.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how this was such a clear mess up on USATF's role. And I don't know why they're being so hardo with these like strict rules. It seems very cut and dry for what the top 3 would have been, what the team would have been. I do think I will say the selection process isn't official until May. So I'm assuming that they're going to get, because I feel like this is just snowballing and getting worse and worse. There's many national news level articles that were made on this subject that happened. So it is pushing in the direction of where USATF and Atlanta Track Club are going to definitely feel the wrath a little bit. Now, I was getting sort of the vibe. Do you feel like it between USATF and Atlanta Track Club? I personally feel like USATF is they're the big daddy. They're the more they're the governing body of the sport. I feel like they ultimately are responsible. Although someone mentioned that last year Atlanta Track Club hosted a marathon as well, and they messed up the directions in that as well.
No, so okay, I talked to one of the men that raced this year, Aiden Reed, and he said that last year a similar thing happened on the men's side where the lead vehicle started to go the wrong way, I think, but then turned around and went the right way. So it was kind of like 2 steps in the wrong direction, but then righted again. And the marathon last year was measured incorrectly. So then everyone who was trying to get BQs from that course, it was not valid because it was like 400 or 500 meters short of the official marathon length. So I feel like there have been some mistakes that have been made by Atlanta Track Club, but in this situation, I do think the person with the highest level of culpability is USATF because they gave Atlanta the bid. Atlanta did not have to be the person that hosted this, but USATF entrusted them with hosting this race. And so USATF is still culpable for what happens at the race. And they're the ones that decide on the selection procedures and who need to be responsible for this prize money as well. And so even though I think the fault of the wrong turn sits with Atlanta, the resolution of the problem sits with USATF.
Very well said. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you. I'm cooking.
Is Allie cooking, Chad? That's what I want to know. Allie's cooking big time. Guys, keep spamming it up with some chats and stuff. Yeah. One person keeps spamming that they think that the person who made the mistake should be responsible for paying out the top 3 athletes. I don't agree with that at all. You can say what you think on that.
No, I don't think so either. Like I said, there should have been a foolproof plan in place. And the fact that the lead car was able to go that far off course before anyone noticed or there was any sort of recourse, I think falls to the race organization, not just that singular individual.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I agree. Mistakes happen, guys.
Yeah.
We will all in the future, present, and past, mistakes happen. That's all you have to know about that. Mistakes happen. One thing I wanted to sort of maybe ask about, I know it's way too soon in this situation because this whole controversy is still cooking up so much that it is going to start to put some pressure on USATF and Atlanta. But what do you have any thoughts, I guess, about if you, I don't know if you've already said, I kind of blacked out when you were talking a little bit there, but what is like, in your opinion, like, forget about the rules, forget the rules exist. Like, what is like a plausible way for them to reconcile the situation? Because at least I would just say quickly, I do think that the athletes that finished like 1 through 8, even though that they should have been 4 through 11, to some extent, you almost can't whack the money in their face and give it to them and then take it away from them. But you guys might feel different. You guys are the actual athletes who competed. So what are
Right.
your thoughts on that?
Well, I think actually the fair way to do it would be to pay out the women that were misled, to pay them out for 1, 2, 3, and still pay the athletes who officially placed 1 through 10, because it's not any of the athletes' fault that that happened, and they shouldn't be held responsible for it. It, like, the prize money that was promised for an official place should still be given for the athletes that crossed the line in those positions, but it should additionally be paid to the top 3. And I know David Roach posted on his story and said that there should also be double podium, like, honors for the athletes that officially crossed the line in 1 through 3 and the ones who were on track to cross it before they were led the wrong direction. And the other idea that I had is we could just go to these athletes' Stravas or their watch app or whatever and calculate the amount of time from when they deviated from the course to when they got back to the course, and subtract that from their overall time and then place them in the results as such. And I know that that's not officially in the USATF rule book, but as an athlete that was in the race who would be moved back 3 positions if they did that, I would be completely okay with it, because those athletes earned the spot in front of me. And even if that meant that I got pushed out of the prize money from 8th to 11th, I would still be okay with it, because they earned that more than I did. And like, I don't want to take that prize money away from someone who should have had it above me. Ideally, we would all get the prize money, but I think that could be a good solution, and then that would also put them in the position where they would get those automatic qualifying spots to Worlds, and all of the opportunities and brand bonuses that come with making a world team like that.
So one more thing, or I mean a bunch more things, but something I wanted to add is I did see one. I think it might have been Jonathan Galt on Let's Run. So I don't want to take the credit, but part of his resolution was basically that USATF should pay out the top 3 athletes. It does seem like it was pretty much a certainty that Jess McLean was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
However, there was I don't think that second place spot was confirmed yet. I think a lot of people are saying in the chat that it was pretty close. So he said between second and third, just add up that prize money and then pay it out down the middle for them.
Yeah.
So I think that, I mean, and again, people, just for those of you who don't know what the prize money was, it was $20,000 for the win. So that's why this isn't, I mean, this is about Worlds. This is about the glory of being able to represent your country at a World Champs. For honestly, for you guys probably care more about the Worlds thing.
Yeah.
But hey, the money people like me, I'm telling you, 20K is a lot of money. That's when like lawyers could start getting involved, because that's some real money, you know?
Well, and then I saw someone say, like, the athletes should take it upon ourselves to give that money to the other athletes. And I honestly think that if the situation is not resolved in any way by USATF or Atlanta, that all the athletes would do that. I do think that people would pass the prize money along to whoever should have had it, but it shouldn't be on the athletes to do that. That shouldn't be something that's expected, because it's none of our fault. It is none of our fault, so we shouldn't pay the price. It should be Atlanta Track Club and USATF that are paying the price. And yes, it's expensive, but when you're hosting a race with this high of stakes, there are expectations on you. And if you don't meet those expectations, then there are consequences. And in this case, the consequences are $20,000, $15,000, and $10,000 of prize money that need to be paid double.
I don't know. I actually don't know if second place and third place was that much, but
I think it was.
Really, it was that is some money.
I think it's 20, 15, 10, 5.
Someone in the chat let us know, because we're not going to look it up while we continue to cook. Someone in the chat let us know what the prize money is 1 through 3, because I thought it was like more like 20K, 5K, 2K, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, because in 8th place, the prize money that I would get if I stay in 8th place is 1,500.
I thought it was 500.
9th was 1,000 and 10th is 500.
Oh wow, you got 1,500.
Well, I
dinner
don't
dates,
know.
people. Dinner dates. Allie's paying for the next couple dinner dates. I'll tell you that.
I don't know if I'll actually. They didn't pay us the prize money right away, by the way. Like, usually when you win prize money in a race, you get it like months later. So none of the athletes have any prize money from this right now. So that's why it's not like, oh, we'll just hand over the check. No, we do, the prize money is not in our possession, and it won't be for quite some time.
Okay, second is 12.5, third is 7.5.
Okay.
So it was a little bit less, but still, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit for sure. That's a lot of money though. So yeah, I think that someone was saying add that up, divide it by 2. That's around 10K a pop per person. So second and third get 10K a pop. Winner gets 20K. Someone a while ago did ask. Oh, okay. Well, one person asked, crowdfund it from the community ? I'll say my piece on it. You'll probably say yours too.
Yeah.
But I don't like. I think that will happen if USATF doesn't budge, and this just is what it is. Guaranteed that will happen. There's a lot of rich people in the sport who would be more than happy to make it right with these athletes. But everyone wants it to come from USATF, because why do us, the fans of the sport, have to pitch in and make them feel better? We will. That's the thing. We will. Allie you'll forfeit your prize money if it comes down to it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
But yeah, you can say what you want on that.
Yeah. I was going to say I even thought about that, like just starting a GoFundMe, but I want to keep the pressure on USATF and Atlanta Track Club to resolve the situation and take responsibility and accountability and make it fair for these athletes before we step in and are willing to pay out the athletes ourselves, forfeit our own prize money. I think that we need to keep the pressure on USATF so that they will be forced to do something about it, instead of everyone else picking up the slack because they can see the situation is incredibly unfair.
I mean, it really would be pathetic if no random people stepped in and helped out, and you guys all just did it. You guys will, and again, yeah, whatever. But I would be shocked if it came down to that. But I mean, I think you'd be more than happy if USATF said, "Hey, we're actually just going to change the results, and now you're officially 11th place. You're not getting prize money." I think that'd be one of the best outcomes for you. Maybe not the best, but one of the best.
Well, I think obviously from an objective perspective, I would rather get $1,500, but if that is how they resolve the situation, I would be like, that's fair. Like, I should have gotten 11th. I don't actually deserve to get $1,500. So, like, that is totally fine with me. I'm not going to, like, sue them or something. I think every athlete that got moved down would understand that.
For sure. Someone asked a little while ago why, because I don't really know exactly why it is either, but I saw somewhere that this is not all official until May. Like, the team is not official. What is the rationale behind them holding off? Because that has nothing to do with this controversy, but why isn't the team fully set in stone until May? Is that drug testing, or what is that?
Okay. Well, yeah, I think partially that, but also there's 3 automatic spots that can qualify to Worlds from this race, but there's an additional 4th spot that was always up to a committee decision based on World Athletics rankings. And so that's the spot that wouldn't have been officially decided. The other 3 would have been from this race. It was a guarantee, but the 4th spot was still up for interpretation. So now, like, these 3 athletes could still qualify if they can get their World Athletics scores up enough. And if all of the top 5 just pass, they would leave those spots up for other people to take, which it again isn't something those athletes should have to do. Like, making a US team is so difficult, and being able to go to the World Championships is such an honor. And for them to have crossed, like Molly Bourne, Carrie Elwood, and Annie Rodenfels, to have crossed the line in 1, 2, 3 and not get to celebrate, not be handed an American flag, not be able to feel happy, not be able to actually know they're going to Worlds is also a horrible situation for them.
Well, and guys, let's take another step back here as fans of the sport, fans of American distance running. I mean, and if you're from the UK or wherever you're from, like I'm American, I am a fan of the US. I want to see the best team possible at the World Championships.
Definitely.
So this situation is so stupid for the fans too. It would be like, okay, I mean, here's one of my examples of what I would parallel it to. I said, if this is the equivalent of if Cole Hawker, Nico Young, and Yared Naguse are kicking down the home stretch at the US 3K indoor champs, and with 50 to go, someone who's a pole vaulter steps on the track and bumps all three of them off the track, and they all fall down, and they get up and finish 9th, 10th, and 11th in the final. It's basically that, and it's like, so it's very cut and dry how messed up this situation is. And yeah, I don't know, that's just one thing I'd say on it. Why would we send a weak, like, take out the emotions? Why would we send a weaker team? Like, we want to compete well at Worlds.
To give the top three official women some credit, like that would not be a weak team at all. Like the US is so stacked in distance running that like those three would still do super well at Worlds, but I think they all understand that they wouldn't necessarily have been that top three if the leaders hadn't been led the wrong way. I was gonna say something else, but now I forgot.
While you're thinking, I was gonna say too, Jess McLean, who was going to win today, yesterday. It's double sad too, because Jess McLean, I believe, finished 4th at the trials in the marathon.
Yes.
And the 10K.
And she finished 4th at this race last year.
So she's been and she's, what is she, 34 years old or so? I don't know,
but I mean, she's
been in the sport for a while.
Yeah, and she's one of the, like, without a doubt, one of the best long distance road runners in the US right now, and she should be on this team. She was on the Worlds team last summer for the marathon and placed 8th at Worlds. So she's obviously incredible, and she had a big lead when they took the wrong turn and then managed to catch up and pass Emma and Edna and catch up to a bunch of us other runners in the remainder of the race. So she was obviously going to win and dominate that race, and it's like very, very heartbreaking that she wasn't able to do that and have that moment. And the other thing I was going to say is someone said, can't they just redo the race? And I guess they could, and that would probably be a better solution than doing nothing at all. But the fact of the matter is that every runner is going to feel different from day to day, and there's no guarantee the result will be exactly the same if they do run it again. And so that also isn't really fair to the athletes because it leaves so much up in the air where anything could happen. But it is probably better than doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would like that. I'd be surprised if they made a big change of something. That'd be shocking if they were to put on a whole nother event, because I don't think that would happen. And again, like, these athletes train for this specific day. But yeah, with Jess McLean, just the fact that she's gotten multiple 4th place at US championships, and she's 34 years old, she's grinding, she's using those 4th place finishes as motivation. And then finally about to get, I don't know if this would have been her first U.S. title. Maybe it would have been.
I think it would have been her second.
But to get I mean, at the end of the day, all athletes know this. All you guys in the chat, if you are really currently still trying to go for that glory, it's the glory you do it for. Like the glory, the feeling of finishing first, best feeling ever. And I don't know if it was Jess McLean or one of the 3 athletes had an Instagram post, and they had a really sad quote in there. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of, the best part about racing is that you always get to learn something from that race. So if you make a mistake, you learn, okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone out this fast. Maybe I shouldn't have had that gel. Maybe I should have tapered down my training a little bit. But they said the thing that sucks the most with this situation is that you don't even really get to learn anything about this, I guess, besides don't follow the lead cart when you're 12.2 miles into the race and just try to
that can't be the lesson, because you should be able to blindly trust a lead car. Like, that's like anyone that's saying, oh, it's their responsibility to have known the course. No, because if there's a lead car, you follow it. Every athlete ever does that. You always follow the lead car. And this race also had like 50 turns. Do you really expect the athletes to memorize every single turn we were going to take and have the mental headspace to make those decisions when you're 12.5 miles into a race? No. Like she said, there's nothing that can be learned from that.
The only thing Jess McClain did learn was, if you're with Ali O with 100 meters to go in a race, you're not going to outkick her. If your name is Usain Bolt and you're racing Ali O in a 100-meter dash, you're not going to beat her. Water is wet. Ali O will outkick you. It is what it is. It's just the way of life. And on that note, because there was one troll being like, why did Ali outkick Jess McClain? Not in this chat. I know you guys all understand life. You guys aren't incels, whatever. It is what it is. But for the one person who was trolling and being like, why did Ali outkick Jess McClain? She should have known, and blah, blah, blah. One, you're going to try as hard as you possibly can. And two, Ali posted on Instagram a couple hours ago about the race. Jess McClain commented on the post. I don't know if you saw it, but it was like, it was really a hilarious response. So check out Ali's Instagram post. Jess, she doesn't feel any weird way about it. So yeah, Ali and Jess, like, you guys are obviously good. I mean, you were probably the first person to even be able to talk to her. Someone said, Jess, I am pissed, as she finished.
No, she said, you can see it on the live stream if you read her lips. She said, I'm so pissed off. And then Emma Grace Hurley crossed, and then Jess and her were talking to each other, and I went over and I was like, you guys, what happened? And they were like, we got led the wrong way. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And there's like nothing else you can say in that situation, because that's horrible. But yeah, the reason that I outkicked her is because I didn't know what had happened. If you see someone come past you at the end of a race, your first thought isn't going to be, oh, she must have gone the wrong way because the lead car took her off of the course, and then she went an extra 500 meters before realizing she needed to turn around. No, that's not what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is like,
you had to kick the dog when she was down.
No, what I'm thinking is that, okay, kidding. She must have like had to go to the bathroom, or was having like GI distress, or went to the med tent or something. Like, something happened specifically to her. I didn't know that it had been the entire top three and even the fourth place girl that had happened to. And so yeah, like, I'm just gonna compete if I'm in a race. My brain is thinking, try to beat people. It's not thinking, oh, why is she back here? She should be winning. Like, that's not where my brain's going.
For sure. I get that. Now, we'll add one more person asked a little while back. And guys, keep bringing the questions in if you want Ali to stay longer. We're going to ask one more question, and then I'm going to pull up the race at 127 in on the Atlanta Track Club YouTube page so we can take a look, get a little analysis from Ali on sort of just maybe why something happened. I don't know if we have an explanation on, did they ever explain why the car went the wrong way? Has that been explained anywhere?
No, they didn't. But I did watch the video, and basically, I mean, you'll see it when you pull up the video, but there are like 5 cones maybe that go in a straight line that were in the middle of the intersection. And instead of interpreting, but they were all close together, so instead of interpreting that as go straight here, the lead car thought that was a point to be turned around.
Okay.
So he turned at the cones instead of going straight past them.
Okay. And now I'd like to sort of keep this open-ended for the chat as well. We're all just talking to each other right now. I was scouring Let's Run a little bit when obviously this happened. I didn't see it live. I was a bit asleep while you were racing. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you were asleep.
I was getting ready for the big stream for the USATF track champs. But anyway, so Let's Run, someone mentioned, and a lot of people were agreeing, that they said that the announcers of the race were playing coy, acting like nothing happened. Have you heard anything from that at all from your perspective? If you guys have heard anything from that chat, let us know, because people were seeming to be pissed at the announcers too for, I guess, pretending nothing happened. And I don't know if that was because the higher ups, they got the call basically to say, hey, we don't want to, let's keep this under wraps. This is embarrassing.
Okay, I did watch the stream. I didn't watch it with volume, but basically, as soon as Jess was told to turn around and Emma and Edna were told to turn around, the stream cut to a map of the course and then changed to videoing Molly Bourne as the lead runner.
Okay.
And it doesn't seem like they addressed what happened really, but I didn't watch it with volume, so I don't entirely know. But it does seem like they tried to kind of brush over it, but I don't think that's on the announcers because they didn't know what had happened. Like, they're in the same situation as the athletes where they're like, we don't know what happened. All we know is Molly Bourne's in the lead now, so we're going to announce it as such.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like some of the chat is saying basically that the announcers sounded confused, that they did briefly move on. I mean, to be fair, live streaming is a little bit similar to announcing. Your mind is moving very fast. You're just like, hey, okay, maybe something horrible just went on, but the first place finisher is finishing, so I need to announce this. This is my, if I want to get paid, I can't just say, oh, what a travesty, blah blah blah. Like, you gotta maybe assume that something happened, you know. I mean, I guess they did watch the whole race, so again, I would probably say don't blame the announcers. Everyone's confused. It's a bad situation. It's one of those ones where it's like you can't be personally mad at one person, even the person who made the mistake. A mistake can happen. It's not like someone purposely sabotaged this race.
I also would say for the announcers, like, obviously it's not exactly the same, but like I was saying, when I'm in like a race mindset, I'm focused on competing. When the announcers are in a commentating mindset, they're thinking about keeping the audience entertained and announcing the race that is playing out in front of them. And for them, that meant announcing Molly Bourne was winning the race. And they obviously didn't have all of the information about what had happened enough to the point where they could go into depth about that. And so they just had to like make do with what they had. And I don't think they can be expected to immediately be able to go in depth about the wrong turn or why that was bad.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, most people are saying, to me, it came off genuine confusion, nothing malicious. I mean, of course, it was never going to be malicious, but, you know, there's hypercritical people. This is probably the Let's runners that I let get in my head a little bit, that are hypercritical about everything.
Yeah.
They can't really see the bigger picture, that, like, everyone is in the same boat. No one had the information of what was going on at the time. So it does sound like it's just so, you know, a mess of a situation. But I do want to get into it. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna pull up the clip right now. I might have to get back in that chair real quick though, or if you move over, you can stay in the chair, but just
no, it's okay. You can take the chair.
Because I need to. I'll put you back in it once we get going there.
No, it's okay. I should probably head out pretty soon.
Chat, while we're getting
demoted.
The queen has been demoted, but chat now, for those of you who are still in here, we're going to go pull up a little bit of the footage from the race. I'll get it up on the screen in a minute. Don't you guys worry at all, because we'll get the full Alio analysis on what happened here. I'm very interested. We've been told 127 into this race is what it is. If I can find it, maybe it's live. Okay, here we go. So pulling it up in a sec, chat. Pulling it up, making things look nice for you guys. I'll put Allie back in the chair, even though she doesn't want to. Let's keep Allie on the stream. She's really making the views go up nicely, so this is great for me, people. This is absolutely delicious. Hi, guys. What's going on, James? Hey. Shout out to all you guys, too. It's always it seems to always be about the same chatters typically in here. Oh, this is interesting that works like that.
Okay. Yeah, so...
I want to make sure... Oh, okay, wait, hold on.
You could make that bigger.
Yeah. We're good. Okay. We're gonna go to 127 in.
Okay.
127 in. Okay, so
yeah,
is this where it already happened?
Take the turn soon.
Okay, so we're 127 in right now. This is Jess McLean leading, and this again was over 12 miles into the race, I believe.
And this is the chat from the race, not your chat.
Wait, this is this where it is? 127.
Yeah, because she's at 11.7, and they took a wrong turn at like 12. Also,
Okay.
you guys, this hill was like so brutal, and she is going so fast up this hill. Like, we just gotta give Jess McLean the respect because she's ripping right now.
Also, I have no clue how I got my chats on the screen, but we'll just keep them up there for now.
No, that's not yours. That's from the race.
Oh, this is from the race?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here, let me exit out of that then. Okay, cool. I was so confused, chat. I was like, how did I get these live chats to pull up? I was like, I don't mind them up, but whatever.
No.
And also maybe, okay, so this is,
Okay,
yeah,
so
keep cooking here, keep cooking here.
So you go
Do you want me to
across
pause it?
this little, no, it's fine. You go across this little metal thing, you take this turn, and now she's supposed to go straight for a while. I don't know exactly how long, because I've literally done this race course once, obviously, but you're supposed to go straight for a while, but instead she gets to this next intersection, and you'll see there are like...
Also, I'm going to pause it right here. I've got a question. These are the second and third placers?
Yeah, so you can see that they're probably 50 meters behind her, because you can see from the lead cam, they're right there, but then this is like a closer follow-up cam on second and third.
Should we put the sound on?
I mean,
Should we put the sound on? We could. Well, okay.
I don't know what they're going to be saying. I haven't listened to it with sound.
Let's just keep the sound off. This isn't. We don't need the sound
You
on.
can watch it again with sound.
I'll watch it later when Allie leaves and the viewership goes down. But stay on chat.
Okay.
Chat for the OGs. We're cooking today, people. We're cooking with this.
Okay, give it a play. Give it a play. All right, so you'll see that in the next intersection, I believe there's like 5 cones kind of in the middle of the road that go in a straight line. Yep, there they are. And she turns around those cones.
So this is the turn right here.
Yes.
This is where she went
So
around.
she turns around those cones, which she's being led by a lead motorcycle. She didn't just decide to do that. She was led this direction by a lead car.
Someone says if you have the sound on when they make the wrong turn, they start blaring sirens. So you can tell when they go wrong. So did they blare sirens because they went the wrong way, you think?
I don't know.
Okay, we don't know that. Okay. Well, let's just see.
But anyway, so she goes the wrong way here.
That's crazy that the
Is
camera
just
keeps
cooking.
following her.
And there is that siren thing back there, but it looks like they're just all going off, so I think that might be coincidental. But then you see that the other 2 also come down this way. And now we should watch and see if we're able to see 4th place also take that turn.
Because this is another thing to add, like, look, we still haven't seen 4th place if we look really deep off into the background there.
Oh, there
it is. 4th place is I would say 25 seconds behind, 20 to 25 seconds behind 3rd. So I think it's fair to say 4th wouldn't, but 4th place still got screwed over. You know the girl's name.
I'm Carrie Elwood.
So she got screwed over. Shout out to Carrie Elwood. She did also go the wrong way. No one's talking about her going the wrong way because she only went the wrong way for a little bit.
But I mean, let's watch and see how long. So she just made the turn, and now.
Oh, she just go back.
And then so they're like there, and then it'll turn to like a split screen showing like 1st and the 2nd, 3rd. So they're like making this. Oh gosh, this is just horrible. They went so long.
They went so long.
They ran.
Wait, so did they run 14 miles?
They ran 13.7.
Do they have Strava? Does Jess McLean have Strava?
Yeah.
Did she like still run fast when she turned around?
No, like you can go back and look at the splits. They were running the same. They didn't slow down.
So
now they're starting to get confused.
Okay, so Hurley just looked a little bit.
They're starting to get confused. They're looking up ahead, and then they'll flip it so you can see the moment when Jess McLean realizes that they were led the wrong direction.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah. So now she's about to like look around.
Wait, what? Was this the marathon course? What was it?
Okay, so then she's like, "What?"
Oh,
and then
brutal.
is told to flip around, and then she kind of like double checks and then turns around.
So brutal.
So brutal.
Oh my gosh. So this was like 500-600 meters out of the way.
Yes. So then she double checks, and then she turns around, and you can see they turn as well.
Oh, and so Jess McLean had to pass them as well?
She had to catch up to them, and she did.
So
she had a lot in the tank. She was gonna finish so well.
This is messy. This is so
yeah,
messy.
and then they'll cut to a map here, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, here's a map of the course that the lead car didn't follow."
Hold on, let me also just check real quick here. I just want to get a cloud check on this. Okay, it's 51,000 total views. So give us a year. The athlete special will be bigger. We'll be live streaming this soon enough because we'll be bigger than this with all these viewers we've got.
But so
so they go to the map.
Basically, do you want me to? I can point out.
Yeah.
With the mouse.
Yeah, the mouse. They can see the mouse.
So basically, they took this turn. They went this way, right? And then right after 12 miles, they took this turn, and that was the turn you saw Jess take. And then when she got to this intersection right here, they went left down this road and got to about here before they turned around.
That would be impossible to memorize this, by the way.
Yeah.
It would be impossible because
there are a lot of turns.
And she knew she had to go left, but she just went like one street early.
And if you guys just look over here at this elevation profile, when you get to 12 miles, you have just gone up for so long, like 2 miles of net uphill before you get to 12. Your brain is not functional at that point. And even if it was, you would still follow a lead vehicle.
Also, now knowing too that Jess McClain, let's go back a little bit here for the viewers who are coming in. Jess McClain, when she realizes that she went the wrong way, the second and third place athlete had a jump on Jess McClain, so she had to drop them again.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have just been demoralized here fully.
Well, right. That's what I'm very impressed that all three of them finished really strong. Like, they still had a strong last mile, even though they had just gone through this emotional turmoil.
Not strong enough to outkick Alio, though. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We've been talking about that all day. That is the big story here. Alio kicks the dog while she's down, outkicks Jess McClain, takes home the $1,500. It is what it is. Alio's not getting outkicked. Doesn't matter if your name is Usain Bolt. I've been using the same joke for 3 days.
Yeah, you just,
actually, I mean, the race was yesterday.
You used it five or six times.
Guys, let's take.
Now.
Okay, I guess yeah. Do they show? They show it. I'll try to show.
They don't really show much. They just then. Okay, so that was the car they were following. Obviously,
should we get some? Should we try to get some identification on that biker?
No, stop. That's just mean. But okay, so then they flashed this course map, and then shortly after this, they quickly switched to filming Molly Bourne, who's the new leader of the race.
That was the TV people ripping by. Like,
yeah.
The TV goes off, the lead card. I guess the motorcycle's following the lead car. So now the lead motorcycle's ripping like, man, I would feel so guilty if I was the lead motorcyclist and the lead car because you literally just ruined people's race, and then you have to rip by them and be like, "See ya."
Yeah. Okay.
We gotta catch the finish.
Guys. It was fun hanging.
So by the way, this is playing still. It's been this map for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, maybe
Let's see how
more.
we'll let it play out. I guess I'll skip a little bit. Okay, so it skipped for like 40 seconds. So now, so that's still them.
Oh, okay. So then they filmed a little bit of them.
They filmed a little bit of them.
But then they, looked around for a little while.
Oh man, this was probably so awkward and then this is them still.
So
this is them
they're
still
filming them. Okay, I didn't know that they kept going with them.
Who's that next to Jess McClain?
That's Emma Grace Hurley.
Oh, so Emma Grace is just trying to stick with her now. Oh man.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal, people. This is like tough. I would have just cried.
I think I would have cried too. I mean, that's horrible. But then I'm like, okay, so now they're back on the course.
Oh, so hold on. Did they like cut a corner to get back on the course? Because it looked like there must have been on a sidewalk or something there, right? Or is that?
Well, so I went to Emma Grace's Strava and looked at it, and it looked like they just went out and back to get back on the course. So
Mark says, meanwhile, Allie is hunting them. Allie's hiding in a bush.
I'm being hunted because they're behind me. That's how fast they were going for the last mile. They caught back up to me.
What would you guys do if this happened to you? If I'm not deliriously dead after this half, I'm literally throwing hands with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm literally throwing hands, but like my hands are going to be like, because I'm like, one, I'm already weak, but two, I think Edna Kurgat kind of was like, screw this. I mean, she's still pushing though.
She's still going fast because, okay, Jess McLean caught up to me and my last mile was a 5:10. So she was going very fast. Oh my gosh, there I am.
There's Allie. Did you know that was you?
No.
Come on, Allie. Come
I didn't
on.
watch this that thoroughly. Okay,
So
I
Allie's
didn't
getting
see
sniffed
this.
out by Jess
But
McLean.
I had no idea that's happening because also the public wave of the half was coming through, so we were getting passed by a couple fast guys. So I thought it was just fast guys that were catching up behind me.
There might be more footage of you than we thought because
Yeah, because I was just in the thick of this. Wait, okay, the live stream I went to, they cut to Molly Bourne. But they didn't in this one?
is this the same live stream you looked
I
at?
thought so.
So so clearly, you guys, let me just say this. I'll pause it once again here. Let's give the announcers way more credit that they had no clue what was going on because they keep getting flashed Jess McLean leading. So
But
it
then
looks like
over
Jess.
there, the splits are coming through, and those are the people in the lead of the race.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, look, I'll just say this too. Bourne, like Elwood should have beaten Bourne too.
Probably, yeah.
So I would feel bad if I was Elwood. I would feel terrible if I was Elwood because she went the wrong way too. Who knows? Maybe she would have had the greatest last mile ever and close in 4:30 and catch up for third place.
Yeah.
But no one will ever talk about her. They will only ever talk about these three who got screwed over.
Yeah.
So I just want people to also feel sympathy for Carrie Elwood. That's her name because
Yeah.
she got screwed. No one even knows that she went 300 meters off course. So she, it's. I do feel for her big time, and I'm glad that we have a big audience right now because people need to be aware that Elwood got screwed too.
Yeah. Okay, so here comes Jess. She'll probably pass me pretty soon here.
This is an interesting, yeah.
And just keep in mind that
How far out are we right now?
I don't know, mile and a half. All right, sorry, no, half a mile maybe. But keep in mind, no one in the race knows what's going on. Like,
Okay, maybe that's when they make the big switch right there.
oh yeah, yeah, because there's Molly Bourne.
I'm sure that the officials, someone from the higher ups, are starting to bark at the camera people saying like, no, you don't have the right people leading. Like you need to switch this around. This is not the right people. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, because then you see at 20K, they were like 2 seconds behind me.
so so you ended up out kicking a couple of these girls, two other ones too.
Yeah.
Montoya and Smith.
Yeah.
Allie was getting hunted by McLean, but little did Jess know that she was falling into Allie's trap. I do have some breaking news actually as well. Allie did pay off the lead card to go the wrong way. So
my
it is Allie's fault. We can talk to her about it.
gosh.
So Allie did purposely do that. Wow, this looks hilly.
It was all up and downhill. It was actually brutal.
Yeah. We can skip a little bit now. Are they close? They're getting close to the finish here.
Yeah, because I think we're about to turn into the stadium.
Quick ad right now.
Yeah,
W for the ad.
get Atlanta Track Club some ad rev here.
Skippy,
so
we
they can
got
pay the
to.
athletes.
Skippy's my only mod in the chat, but he's barely ever doing his work these days. Skippy, you need to buy me YouTube Premium. That's part of the job of the mod. If someone else just super chats it right now, we'll get the YouTube Premium. But we can't be affording that.
Okay, so this is when you turn in, and then you have to make like another 90-degree turn to the finish. So here she goes. She's about to make the second 90-degree turn. And then there's the finish.
So she's not looking like she won this race right now.
No, she's confused because she's like, there's the finish line, but I'm not in the lead.
This is so crazy, people, what
And then
happened
she's
here.
just like confused.
Elwood looks pissed too. You can see Elwood mouth the F word as she finishes. Let's go back here. So Elwood, let's take a look at her.
I don't know if she does.
I don't know. She looks pissed though.
She does.
She looks
Well,
pissed.
and Molly looks just confused.
Yeah, we're cooking in the chat today. We got a big.
Okay, and then here's Annie Rodenfels, who was in 6th, but has moved up to 3rd. And I talked to her, like, when I finished.
We saw her actually the other week.
I finished, like, a minute.
She lives in Boulder.
I finished, like, a minute after her. I talked to her, and she still thought she had gotten 6th place. She did not know she had gotten 3rd.
That would make sense because she didn't see the tape and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone's over there talking like what happened, we're confused, what's going on. Because these are technically the world's qualifiers, which keep in mind they weren't handed flags or anything. So it's obvious like that USATF and Atlanta are like, oh, we don't know if that's going to be the
who's
situation.
this?
That's Cassie Parker.
And she would be what place?
She would have been seventh.
Okay.
But she's fourth.
Also, guys, I'm thinking about making an award show, the Athlete Special Hall of Shame. Currently up for grabs right now is Grand Slam track and field or the Turn Gate. The Turn Gate controversy of 2026 at the Atlanta Half Marathon Champs. So let me know in the chat right now, what do you think deserves number one in the Hall of Shame? Is it Turn Gate or is it Grand Slam track and field? Let us know.
Okay. And then this is Anna.
Oh, I can't wait for this out kick.
And she would have been 8th, but she got 5th. And I actually don't know this girl. I could see her a couple times during the race, and I thought I might be able to catch up, but never did.
This is such a cluster, by the way.
Here's Erica Kemp, and then we're about to be coming around this corner. Yeah. There's Maggie Montoya.
Oh my
there's
God,
me.
Allie is kicking like
Jess McLean, and then right behind is Rachel Smith, formerly Schneider, and I come right on through with that kick.
Holy W's. Hey, and W.
And that's what, go back, that's where Jess says she's so pissed off.
Hold on, we got a quick super chat though. Huge W to James for the super chat. You should, Spencer, LOL. My name is Jameson, not James. Okay, sorry, Jameson. I've been calling you James for the whole time. It is what it is, though. Guys, wow. Let's take a look back again. Thank you for the super chat, but look at Allie rip around that turn. She is ripping around that turn like she is Noah Lyles in the 200 Olympic champions.
Keep in mind, I've been about 10 seconds behind Maggie Montoya the whole race trying to catch up. I've been about 8 seconds behind Rachel Smith trying to catch up. I catch up with 50 meters to go.
You that's the thing. Allie is dangerous when it comes to kicking because she made everyone look like they were walking. You ran by, I don't know who it was, Montoya, like she was walking, but let's take a look here.
Here's the thing is,
Here,
I'm
I'll
like,
pull it back.
Does this mean that I'm not going hard enough the whole race? Because I don't know why. I don't feel like I have anything in me, but once I get close to the finish, it just appears.
Lock in for this, folks. Lock in for this. Oh my gosh. McLean was going for it too. That's the saddest part.
I know.
I mean, it's not fun. It sucks. Okay, so you're gonna say, look at Jess McLean?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so she said she dropped a fuck.
She just said, I'm so pissed off. And then like here she walks over to Emma Grace Hurley.
See, I'm on her end with the throwing hands.
Like, and then here I come. And I'm like, you guys, what happened?
Yeah, someone said you kicked like you were shot out of a cannon. I really do need to see that one more time to run it back because I didn't see.
Gosh. I feel really bad in retrospect. I feel really bad.
Well, the thing is, Jess McLean was like running off of pure rage and anger, but she's still. It's just her luck to have the worst luck ever to go the wrong way at the U.S. Champs, but then hilariously she runs into Allie, who happens to be the best like kicker at the end of a race ever. Because look, Jess McLean was right on you too, but you still dug her out.
Well, she passed me, and then I passed her back.
So it was a battle.
It was a battle.
Look at this. It's coming up here. Look at how fast Allie goes around this turn here. Look at that.
Stop. We gotta stop watching. I feel so
Jess
bad.
McLean also says fuck as soon as she finishes. I'm not laughing at her. I'm not. See here. There it is.
Oh.
She goes, fuck.
And then she says, I'm so pissed off.
She deserves to be. And let me just tell you guys, don't you dare clip this. We're not laughing at Jess McLean.
No,
for those of you who are just coming in, we've been talking about this for the last hour. So chat, defend us here. We're laughing at Allie just kicking like insanely fast.
No. Well, what I would say is that once I figured out what happened, I felt horrible, and I would have let Jess beat me if I had known that was the situation. But you have to keep in mind that no one in the race, even the ones that had finished, knew what had happened at this point.
Yeah.
Like, we were all in the dark, so confused. Like, I don't know why Jess is next to me, but obviously I'm gonna try to outkick her. And we are not laughing at the misfortune of the situation. We're laughing at like how like ridiculous it is.
And can you quickly explain what turn gate is for those who just joined? I'm going to take a little Waz real quick.
Okay,
but this is big. Okay, go back to the big screen because we do have guys chat for the OGs, for the Neils out there, for the Papa Floreses, those who are in all the time. It's a big day for the chat, so keep talking about turn gate. I got to go to the bathroom because we got a new crowd coming in, so keep talking about it. We'll go back to the race footage in a bit. We'll run it all back. Producer special, W for me.
Okay, so I'm
taking
the big chair back. I don't need your permission. I'm taking it. This is my chair now, and I'm moving the mic to the center too. You can't stop me. Anyways, Turngate is basically the name we've given to the debacle that happened at the US Half Marathon Championships, where Jess McLean, Emma Grace Hurley, Edna Kurgat, and Carrie Elwood actually were all led the wrong way at about mile 12 of the half marathon. And Jess McLean had a sizable lead over Emma and Edna, about 50 meters, and then they were about 150 meters ahead of Carrie Elwood, but all of them took a left turn when they should have gone straight, and they took that left turn through no fault of their own. They were following a lead vehicle, and they ended up going about 400 or 500 meters down the street before they were alerted that they had gone the wrong way. So then they turned around and started going back to the course, got back on track, and finished the race. However, they ended up getting 9th, 12th, and 13th, I believe, when they actually should have been 1, 2, 3. And Carrie Elwood didn't go too far down the wrong way, so she ended up finishing second. But anyways, that's what Turngate is, and basically the entire debacle is that there were 3 world championship qualifying spots on the line. Those 3 athletes were in prime position to get those spots, and barring disaster, were almost definitely going to. And there was also a $20,000 prize purse, and second was $12K, third was $7.5K. They also lost out on that. So it's a pretty big deal. USATF is not taking accountability, is not doing anything to help the athletes. They released a statement that basically said, we understand that this was not the fault of the athletes. It was a mistake on the lead car and the race organization. It's not their fault. However, there's no rule in our rule book that specifies what to do in this exact scenario, so we are going to do nothing. And the results stand. So right now, that's USATF's stance, but people online are going off about it. It is a huge hot topic right now, and we're basically trying to keep pressure on USATF and Atlanta Track Club to take accountability, take responsibility, and make the situation fair for all of the athletes involved, which includes the ones that officially crossed the line in first, second, and third, as well as the ones that were led the wrong direction.
W explanation. So now what I do want to do is, you have the headphones on. You put the headphones on. I want to replay a little bit of when the athletes did take a wrong turn, because people are saying that when the athletes took a wrong, just put them on. I'll pull it up for you. But when the athletes took a wrong turn, someone was saying that there was sirens going off. So we're going to pull back to that. We're going to listen to it a little bit with Allie's going to have headphones on, so she'll be able to analyze what's going on as we all can hear it in this video. But it seems like you guys are definitely...
I think, though, that the other thing is I was looking at it, and there were, like, a lot of sirens in that area, so I'm wondering if that was coincidental.
Also, like, is there a possibility that those sirens were just going off because sorry, W ad... You know, if you don't want to see ads, give us some supers. Okay. Jameson gave us one. Okay, skip right here. But real quick, before we play it, don't you just assume that the sirens would be going off as the athletes are going by because they're excited?
Well, that's the other thing. There were sirens that went off throughout the race when I would run by. Like, someone would put off sirens. And so I don't think that you would just immediately... You would assume it was like cheering, go, 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 not like stop what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. So you can... Play this out. Make sure to keep pausing it as you're like analyzing what's going on here while they're talking, because we just don't want to get copyrighted.
Okay, so
22 miles yesterday here in Atlanta, and I said, "Can I help?"
And chat, let us know if you can hear if it sounds good. I think it does.
She's all about getting it done. She's got to get right on an airplane and get home and get to work tomorrow. She's very methodical about how she lives her life, and that's how she races as well. And she looks so good right now.
And this is a hill right here too.
And this would be big for her. She's already won a U.S. Championships. It would have been a couple years now, so this would be big for her to cross the tape and break that tape.
Well, she's got the balance exactly right. Remember that fabulous win over 10K just a couple of weeks ago. She ran so fast in Boston. She was 7th in Boston in April last year, 2:22. That 10K speed, that marathon.
No,
strength,
it's okay, Mark. We want to hear the commentary. We want to hear the commentary.
From McLean.
We want to hear the commentary. Because they're about to make the
so good. She ran
so yeah, you can talk while the commentary's going on. It's not like they.
Coming in, as I mentioned, those
Allie's like,
I can't hear you because the commentary.
Oh, just listen with like one ear.
Okay,
then.
okay, I'll just put one on. But basically,
Allie was locked in a trance right there, Chad. I couldn't get her to stop focusing. She was not talking.
So I can't talk when I'm listening to something because I'll like end up shouting. But Jess is taking this turn she was supposed to take. So this is the turn that's like right around 12 miles. And now she's supposed to go straight for a bit, but she's going to take a left turn here pretty soon. They're just like talking about how accomplished she is basically and how she has like a really good life balance with like work and running and everything, and that she's just looking strong. But I think like that's the main thing we have to focus on here is like look how strong she looks and how much of a gap she has up until 2 and 3. 2 and 3 at this point are not decided. They're very close together.
So right here though.
But okay, there she right there. She was not supposed to turn. And yeah, there are sirens going off, but no, there's like drummers, there's sirens. Those sirens did not go off because they went the wrong way. Those went off because they were going to always go because they're like cheering on the athletes. That was like a thing. And so anyways, she just went around those cones, turned left. They were supposed to go straight. Emma and Edna also followed and went the wrong way. It's important to note that they are following a lead car. So she didn't just choose to turn there. She was following an official race vehicle. So don't for a second think that this is on the athletes because obviously they're going to turn if the lead vehicle does.
Here.
But anyways, we can take a look. She's been going already down here for about 10-15 seconds, and she goes for quite a while. It's actually like heartbreaking to watch how long she goes. Like look, she goes around this little corner. Emma, Grace, and Edna are right there. They're all just trucking along.
It's almost 64 minutes.
I think they've already gone 30 seconds in this direction.
At least for sure.
And
I'm interested to hear what they say when they turn around. Like
Yeah.
I want let the chat know what the chat can hear too, but analyze what the announcers are doing.
Yeah.
Just to clear it up because first off, we're just trying to clear up some narratives. So one, the announcers were not like told to not acknowledge this. Or whatever. Like,
well, yeah, obviously they weren't told because no one thought this would happen. Like,
well, and then also pause it once more. People also, like, I don't think that the sirens are what, like, I don't think that the sirens were like warnings to like go the right direction. I think that, you know, when you're running by people, they're going to ring a cowbell. Like, yeah,
just to be clear, there were sirens that went off throughout the race. I heard sirens multiple times.
That's good information.
So it's not, that's not anything like. But this might be, they might be following them right now to try to catch up. I don't.
Do you hear sirens?
I can hear sirens, but I don't know that though. And the athletes wouldn't think anything of that. So here, Jess is about to be told she's going the wrong way and she'll look confused. She's now, yep, okay. That was, I think that was a minute 20 seconds before she flipped.
Yeah.
Which is at least 400 at the pace she was going.
And right now.
Okay. So you can tell the commentators are very confused because Jess just turned and they're like, ooh, okay, right now. And then there's a pause. They don't know what's going on because no one knew what was going on.
Oh yeah, so why?
And now they're like, oh no.
What's happening here?
They don't know what's happening. The vehicles are turning around. And so the commentators aren't saying anything right now.
Well, that was really unfortunate.
Okay, here we go.
What do they talk about now?
They said that was really unfortunate, whatever happened.
In that women's race.
That's all they said?
In that women's race.
They've got about 64, 65 minutes on the clock.
So basically they're just like, they had about 64, 65 minutes on the clock, but they don't know what's going on right now.
The women.
Yeah. So we just play this out.
2K to go.
So they go to this map and they just start playing music.
About 11 and a
brutal.
half miles, 12 miles on that map. As you can see, bottom left corner.
So, you guys,
Carry
this is
coming
where they
towards the
were.
bit down the hill,
They
but
took the wrong turn right here.
let off
So, right here is where they took a left. And so they were past 12 miles. They were probably 12.25, maybe 12.2. They took a left turn right here when they should have kept going straight. Again, not their fault, following a lead vehicle, and went down this street. And I looked, and Jess McLean went about 80 seconds before she turned around and went back this way. So that is huge. Obviously, Emma and Edna went a little bit less far, and then Carrie Elwood went even less far. But yeah, for any of them, that's a huge add-on to their race, and it's horrible.
Someone said, "Get the biker's face."
Okay, so let me just. Oh, there he just said, did they just take a wrong turn? We're gonna clear that up right now. So they still do not know and don't have the information. Okay, and now it's coming back on.
Kurgat and Hurley still battling away for second.
Also, I'm really happy that Atlanta Track Club posted this video, not USATF.
Yeah.
This is fair use, by the way, USATF. This is fair use. We're analyzing the situation. We're not just playing it back without commentary.
Okay, no, they're really confused right now because they say McLean is still in the lead, but everyone has caught back up to her. But that is not true. So the commentators don't know how far off course they went at all, and they're confused.
65 minutes on the clock, there or thereabouts, so that's when it happened.
And so I don't think they realize until the 20K split comes through it, and they're not in it.
Maybe Kurgat as well, and it suddenly created a
So,
1
yeah.
minute gap between these two, and it was what, about 50
No,
meters?
so they say there's a 1 meter gap between them, and they think that Jess McLean is winning still.
So they think that they went off course, but they're back on, and it's all fine now.
Yeah, because they did have a lead over the rest of the field, but this is crazy, so they just don't know. And neither do these athletes. They don't know what places they're in.
Super hard, but she looks like she's back on, and hopefully she can calm herself.
Okay, so now they're
You know,
back onto the
emotionally, too.
course.
It's really tough to have moments like that in a race. So this is where she's got to dig deep here and get back on it.
And she's still looking so strong
Very
and doing a really good job. But so they still think they're in the lead right now.
unusual indeed.
The announcers do.
Yes, the
And
announcers think
McLean
that.
just passed another runner.
No, they haven't passed anyone yet. But now they're like kind of looking around. Oh no,
There's Allie.
there I am. So
Who's that in front of you?
that's Rachel Smith, formerly Schneider. So I am currently in 10th place.
Look at Saxa.
So that means that they are in 11, 12, 13 right now. So
67 minutes
we're
on the
all just
clock
out
now.
here grinding,
So they are
trying to make
racing up
it
front a
to the
little bit closer
finish.
together than we expected.
We're in the last mile at this point. I think we have like 0.5 or 0.6 to go. So here's Maggie Montoya, who we end up finishing right next to. And now the lead car is ripping. You can see that. Because here the 20K split comes through, and Molly Bourne is winning.
Well, we can take a look at the 20K splits now. There it is.
Carrie Elwood's in second, Annie Rodenfels is in third, Cassie Parker's in fourth, and these splits are coming through, and the announcers are just now realizing that Jess McLean is not in the lead, and they're like
15K,
confused.
Of course, it was Hurley, Kurgat, McLean. The big three were locked together for many kilometers.
Yeah.
But McLean here,
You're asking if you
in a
PR.
very comfortable lead. She
I
built up-
I did not PR. This race is really hilly, so it's not usual to run PRs on this course. Although some people do, I did not.
over the previous couple of kilometers, and she continues in those shades to ease away from her. She's still full of
So
running.
now this is when they switch the camera, and so now the camera is on Molly Bourne and Carrie Elwood, who are the actual leaders of the race.
Some confusion.
Yeah, so he basically said, is Bourne in the lead? Has there been some confusion? So they're still trying to figure it out.
Really? While it's going on.
Okay, so now he said they gone off course by a sizable chunk, and yes, they did. But like, so this is just proof like the announcers were fully in the dark here. They didn't know what was going on. They're just taking guesses right now.
Time which enables others to come through.
Well, that is Molly Bourne that we're watching right here, along
Yeah.
with Elwood. So Molly Bourne, as we said, coming into her second half marathon
You can
ever. She
skip a
ran the
little bit,
BAA
too.
half this
Okay.
past
Feel free to skip
Carrie
it.
Elwood there
Just
on
'cause there's
the-
still a lot
the
left.
one that's right.
Okay, so we'll just skip till they're in the finishing. So this is the finish. You take two 90-degree turns and then head to the finish. So here, Molly Bourne is about to take the last 90-degree turn towards the finish. And then this is the first time she realizes she's in the lead. She's like confused, as you can see. Like, why is there a finish tape right here? Like, she doesn't celebrate. She's just confused. She doesn't know what's going on.
To be fair, I read an article. Molly Bourne said when she turned the corner, her first thought was, "Oh, they put up tape for fourth place as well. That's pretty cool." So she was like, "Oh, like that's cute." Like, cause some races do keep it. They like bring the tape out for like the first 10 finishers. You know what I mean?
I've never experienced that, but I could see why that would be her thought.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I that's like fun." So she was like, "That's kind of fun." So
Yeah.
but she didn't think that she crossed the line first.
Yeah. And then Carrie Elwood. Now, just keep in mind, Carrie Elwood also went partially off course. So she didn't go as far down the road as the other three did, but she was in fourth and had a bit of a lead and went the wrong way too. So she probably would have gotten fourth with the other three in the race. So just keep that in mind.
We can skip
And
it.
now you can see it's just confusion. Just confusion. And then Annie Rodenfels comes through for third place. She thought she got sixth. I talked to Annie when I finished. I finished like a minute behind her. I talked to her. She still thought she had gotten sixth place. Like, the athletes had no idea what had happened. Everyone was just confused.
Seconds or so off her pass by 64.
So now Cassie Parker fourth coming through. So she would have gotten seventh. Doesn't know that she's in fourth right now. And then Anna Costarellis, she told me she got eighth. She actually officially got fifth. So like, they just did not know. They did not know at all. And then DeGefa is closing for fifth right now, and then we're about to have the cluster. Okay, so Erica Kemp right here is coming through for sixth.
Give it a pause.
Okay, we'll take it back.
Everyone in the chat, for those of you coming in here, get ready to lock in. The bull has been released from the chamber. The bullet is coming into town right now. Allie is about to just bring home the hammer and put the dog out of her misery and just take down Jess McLean.
Guys, keep in mind, I've been trying to chase down Maggie Montoya and Rachel Smith for about 4 miles at this point, okay? And then when I'm about 400 from the finish, Jess McLean comes by me. I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on, but we enter a battle. So then she passes me right before we come around this corner. I pass her. So here we come.
When a dog sniffs blood, it's gonna bark.
Okay.
70-47.
Announce it as you come through.
Okay, here we go. We're coming down the stretch. You guys, it's ridiculous watching it back because I had no idea what was going on. Like, I feel actually so bad that I kicked so hard here. But what else was I meant to do? Like,
You had to pass Montoya.
yeah.
You had to pass Montoya. Is there anything of note that they're saying commentary-wise?
No, but they're just saying basically that McLean crossed the line in ninth and like she would have been in first.
Okay, so they were acknowledging that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's keep following McLean here.
So wait, but I think we missed it. When she crosses the line, I think she says fuck, and then she says I'm so pissed off. So if you watch her right here, you can read her lips and see that. Yeah, she just said I'm so pissed off. And then she's kind of just confused and says like we went the wrong way. And then Emma Hurley comes across the line. She goes to comfort her. I ask them what happened, and then I just say I'm so sorry.
Oh, how awkward was it in the moment?
It was pretty awkward because they were obviously really mad, but they weren't mad at me. They were mad at the situation, and there's just nothing I can say to make it better. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know. It's also awkward because I just outkicked Jess, didn't know that she had to run like an extra 800 or 1,000 meters. And had been like fighting to catch back up just for me to like outkick her. Like, I obviously didn't know that. And so then that's just an awkward situation. But you guys, like, I've talked to her and she's not like mad about it at all. Obviously she understands, but it's just a horrible situation.
Yeah.
And here's Molly Bourne, who is like the official winner. And you can see that she just looks confused.
through the
I do
second
think
half
also
of
the
race,
camera has
along
frozen
with,
a bit,
Nick
chat, so
Hogan.
sorry about that.
Remember, making a debut here
The
today.
camera has I mean, you guys can still hear us. Our camera has
that's
frozen.
an unfavorable way for it to freeze on me.
I can't give you guys give me a second. I can unfreeze the camera, and then
They built
Yeah,
these
here, wait.
roads as if they knew we were.
I might have to
I
log out.
think the commentary wasn't really like much. We can just turn it off, I think.
Yeah, the video. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Let me turn this camera off. We're gonna get. I'm gonna go in and out for 1 sec. Give me a sec, chat. The stream's gonna go down for like 30 seconds. So just give us a sec, and then we're gonna do our final thoughts, and then so prepare your last questions for Allie. Give us 30 seconds. We'll fix this in a second. 30 seconds, people.
Watch out for that in the next couple days. I gotta
Hold on, I
go
don't-
edit soon.
I don't know if it's up. Don't think it's up right now. Hold on. Hopefully it's back up. Okay, I think we're back now. We're back now. Yeah, we're back now.
We're good.
Okay, sorry guys. Sorry about that. Yeah. We'll get our final questions. Yeah. Sorry
So
about.
basically all I'm saying is that I gotta go soon, but if you have any final questions, let us know. Basically, USATF, their final statement, or not final, but their current statement on this is that it is definitely not the athlete's fault that they went the wrong way, that it was the fault of the race / the race organization, but that there is no rule in the USATF rule book that allows them to change the situation so the results stand and they're not going to do anything.
Is there a way that USATF could be sued in this situation or no?
I don't know. I feel like they should be able to be sued because it seems like a pretty obvious scenario, but I honestly just don't know how the laws work for that.
So someone who we know is actually good in the legal stuff, who is a former lawyer, is David Roach. So I'm sure that he will be able to provide answers. Allie could probably ask David. We might be able to, if this situation still stays hot and it's not sort of resolved soon, I do believe that we might be able to get David on here on the live stream and give his rundown because he coaches Jess.
Well,
right?
yeah, and David has posted about this, and basically right now, I don't know exactly what to do about the situation. Obviously, there are some routes that USATF / Atlanta Track Club could take that would partially rectify it, such as paying the prize money. Also, like, if athletes all just pass on selections for the world team until it gets to these 3 athletes, that would be another way to do things. But that puts a lot of pressure on the individual athletes to turn down those opportunities instead of putting pressure on the organization to actually find a reasonable solution. I'm hoping that if we make enough noise about this and it continues to be a hot topic, that it'll put enough pressure on USATF to actually do something and take action. But there's just no guarantee. Like, USATF is not the most reliable.
And so, like, for those, because we've got a pretty good amount of people in here who haven't been here the whole time, what would the average person be able to do right now to help with this situation, at least from your perspective?
So from my perspective, I think the best thing is just to make sure that we put pressure on USATF to actually do something to help the athletes. And the best way to do that is tagging them on social media, sharing posts that talk about the situation, tagging USATF when you do share those posts, reposting posts that you see about this. And yeah, I think that that's about what we can do. And if we keep talking about it and people keep demanding a solution to this problem, USATF might be forced to address it. Oh, David, shout out for the super chat. That is
Huge
amazing.
super chat.
That's amazing. And the other thing is that if USATF does nothing to resolve the situation, I do think that the athletes that were in the race will probably do something to, like, pass along prize money where it is due. But I don't know. That's a conversation for another time, because we obviously want to wait it out and give USATF the chance to actually do something.
And you can quickly answer this one. Terrelyn's been asking, how did you feel during your race specifically? Were you hitting the splits you wanted?
I pretty much never looked at a split during the entire race because the splits went all over the place depending on if it was a net uphill or a net downhill race. I was hoping to run a little bit faster, and I didn't feel particularly good during the race. But like I said, I don't know if maybe I just felt bad, but that's just how I was going to feel for like a really hilly race, or if I actually just didn't feel amazing that day.
When's your video coming out?
My video will come out probably tomorrow, but potentially on Wednesday. This video is in collaboration with Koros, so I just have to wait for their approval on it. And I haven't sent anything to them yet because I've been on the live stream for an hour and a half now. So I was in the midst of getting that going and kind of took a little break. So
Guys, I think we'll let Allie go. I'm gonna wrap up stream pretty quick.
oh, super chat.
Another super chat. Thank you so
What's
much,
next?
Isa. A little incorrect on the Allie spelling. It's actually Allie, but we appreciate the money
We very much
nonetheless.
appreciate it. And you asked what's next. I am not entirely sure what's next, but I think that I am going to keep doing some road racing, but I kind of want to do shorter distance road racing because I keep really enjoying the last 2 to 3 miles of these races, and the first 10 to 11 are a little bit harder.
It seems quite painful. I mean, in this race specifically, guys, I know that it's the thing that sucks, and I'll monologue for a sec here, and then we'll W in the chat because Allie's gonna have to go in a second. But what really does suck with this situation is that Allie can't even really digest her race and move on from it and just be able to like kind of share her story, well, because this big crappy controversy is sort of just ruining the vibe for everyone. So I think it will be good when you get your video out and at least but again, your video I'm sure is going to talk a lot about what we talked about on stream today.
It will. And yeah, I think obviously this situation impacts every athlete that was in the race, but it especially impacts the athletes that were led the wrong direction and the athletes that finished in those top 3 spots that can't like actually enjoy it or appreciate that moment at all. So yeah, it's something that impacts me, but at a much lower level, and I want to acknowledge that.
And half marathons in general, they might be one of the hardest races out there. Like you're always beat up after a half, so you just need to relax for a while.
I am hobbling around today.
Allie's
I can barely
heel looks
walk.
like a freaking gumball times 2. I mean, it's big.
It's huge. It's not a good situation, but it's like that after every race. So don't be alarmed. I just need 3 days of no running. It's the standard procedure.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's get some massive W's in the chat. We gotta let Allie go. Allie's she's gotta work. She literally has to work. This was free labor for the most part, besides our few super chats. Thank you guys for the supers on that. We really appreciate that. David, you're such a homie. You super chat all the time. You're probably our top super chatter. So
and Jameson with the W's. Thank you for the
Jameson,
W's.
Jameson, not James. W for Allie. I'm gonna monologue a little bit, but guys, huge W's for Allie. We'll give her a nice outro song. So let's give Allie some big time W's in the chat. She is an absolute homie for coming on. The Queen, people. The Queen came in here, did what she did. W analysis on the race. Just Allie, great job out here.
Thank you.
Final words.
Final words. Thanks for having me on stream. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the support. And don't forget to go call out USATF online, whatever platforms you use. And if you don't feel like calling them out personally, repost people's posts who are calling them out. Let's make them do something. They need to be held accountable. Okay. Bye, everyone.
I'll be down soon. She gives the crown back as she leaves the chat. And half of the people leave because you're here for her, not me. Okay, guys, the king is back. Big W's for Allie. Was that a big segment? Guys, for the OGs, the views are crazy today. So clearly this is a hot topic. This is really tickling everyone's fancy in the worst way possible. This is good, though. This means that people are really outraged about this. And let me just say something about USATF. I have my own bone to pick with them. I have my own very small bone to pick with them because you know what? USATF, they did not let me wear my hat cam in one of my races I was trying to do on the track this winter. If you guys in the chat remember that, screw USATF. They've got these stupid arbitrary rules. They won't let me wear my hat cam in a race on the track. One race let me do it, but then the other one didn't. The meet official was getting all on a power trip. It's like, bro, what is going on with USATF? What are these stupid arbitrary rules? You guys know, let me just tell you this. You guys know that with this Atlanta situation in the half, USATF is holding on to the fact that there's a rule that is athletes are responsible for knowing the direction of the course. You're telling me that athletes are supposed to know 50 freaking turns? That's ridiculous. That's literally ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I mean, whatever, man. USATF has so many issues. Someone in the chat said they think that they're going bankrupt. Do we have any info if they're going bankrupt? All I know is that a couple years ago they released the salaries of it, and it was like they were paying like the top execs so much money, and they're out here like tossing 5K checks to athletes who like okay, let's get some perspective on this. Allie just finished 8th place, should have been 11th, but whatever. 8th place in the country for a half marathon. 8th best in the country for whoever showed up on that day. Anyone in the US who's a really good runner is allowed to show up. The people who showed up and tried to be the best in the country that day, Allie finished 8th. 11th technically, but whatever. 8th. The whole point I'm saying is she made $1,500 for getting 8th place, putting her heart on the line. Imagine being the 8th best basketball player in the country. You're going to bring home like 50 mil a year. So it's already running as such a charity sport. It's not even big. So again, USATF needs to make this right. And I think that they make quite a bit of money. Hey, I mean, I paid for my USATF subscription for $9, and the meet was going down every 2 seconds this weekend when I was watching it. So it's not even like they're giving us like the greatest quality possible. So maybe I sound like an entitled asshole because whatever, it's easy to just kick USATF, it's easy to kick NBC, it's easy to kick the Atlanta Track Club, it's easy to kick the big timers. The big timers get kicked because we can, and at the end of the day they laugh because we can't really do anything about it. But I don't know. If you guys have any thoughts on that, let me know. Please take that hat cam off. We would hate for people to enjoy the sport. Exactly, David, exactly. Like, I'm just literally a dude trying to like do cool, innovative things in the sport. I'm still trying to hang in there, have a good time, like live and like show this content to you. And they're like, no, you cannot wear a hat with a camera on it because that's actually a mechanical device and they can transmit information into you and it would give you an unfair advantage. Like the most random, like arbitrary reason for why, like, technically, like, it's like I don't even know. It's the rule is so dumb. It's so dumb. And like, again, with this, athletes are responsible for knowing the course. It's like, yes, but also you're going to follow the lead card. You're going to follow the lead runner, the lead car. So it's just like, bro, like, give me a break on here. We got to have justice for these athletes. There's going to be something. And look, as this situation continues to unfold, Allie and I will, if it is not being handled the way it needs to be handled, the sport is well taken care of from the grassroots end. The Allies of the world. I mean, Allie's a fantastic person. I'm really just chilling out here to just get as much of this content out as possible. But I will definitely help support some sort of charity that will push people to put in money to pay these athletes out. We got David Roach, who's like such an advocate for the sport, and he's also a lawyer. So low key, I would not mind trying to get David Roach on this stream to give us some explanation on what's going on, because he like knows the legality of things. He's super smart. He probably talked about it on his podcast already a lot, which is going to probably get a bunch of numbers. But David Roach would be really interesting to get on live so you guys can hit him with the live questions, which is important. Nike owns USATF. So yeah, guys, I mean, Nike owns USATF. It's like, can't they just toss, like, can't they just give these athletes money? Again, this event went down yesterday. Obviously, I mean, everyone knows what we're talking about here. 3 athletes were led off course in the final mile of the USATF Half Marathon Championships in the women's race. All 3 athletes ended up finishing outside of the top 3, well outside of the top 3. They missed out on $20,000, 12.5K, and 7.5K. So a lot of money was missed out on, and the athletes also will miss out, more importantly, on being able to compete at the World Championship in September. So this is an ongoing situation, and in about, I think, a month from now, 2 months from now, it will be like set in stone what the team's going to be for this USATF half marathon team for the US. So I do think that we have 60 days to figure something out. I'm sure that there's some high up people who are scrambling right now, realizing that this is not going away. We're not going to be, these little pesky flies aren't going to go away. The whatever we are, just the masses aren't going to stop complaining and stuff. And as Ali said, tag USATF, really make them feel bad. The thing is, I don't know. I have a lot of confidence that justice will be done for these athletes. I really, most importantly, I really want these athletes to be able to compete at the World Championship. And I said earlier, it's not just because I feel bad for them and they missed out on their opportunity. As a fan of the sport, like if I take away any feeling emotionally, I mean, my literal fiance was in this race, and I'm saying that these athletes should technically have finished higher up than her. And Ali obviously agrees. But what I'm saying is, as a fan of the sport, I am an American. I am rooting for my country in sports, in track and field, in road running. I want my country to do better than all the other countries because I'm a fan of the track and field. So, or whatever, I'm a fan of running. So I want the team to be the top 3 athletes because that would be the best team possible for us, you know? They ran an extra they ran around an extra 800-ish at least for sure. Justice for Jess McLean, justice for actually 4 athletes went the wrong way too. We can't forget about the 4th athlete who ended up finishing 2nd overall. She gets to make the team, but I don't know. It's messy. It's definitely messy for sure. Now, would you guys know who, because the way that the qualification for World Championships works is top 3 from this make the meet, plus the USATF also gets to select someone. Who would USATF probably select someone like Taylor Rowe to this race? I feel like that would make sense. The hat cam is a PED. I know, it's just, I've got a needle inside my hat cam that's actually injecting EPO into my forehead, which is causing me to run faster than everyone else. So yeah. You have to know the course and its turns. You also need to follow the officials in case of emergency. That's a great point, David. So yeah, these athletes who who are told to go the wrong way by the lead car, there could have been an emergency situation. Like what if there was a fire or there was gunshots or something? So even if you know what the course is, you're gonna always refer to the lead car because the lead car is going to follow the safest route. That's a really good point for how USATF is still responsible. That's a very, very good point. That's a great point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. They should select Ali. No, Ali's not gonna. She wouldn't want that. Ali wouldn't want that, you guys. So, yeah, that's pretty much it on this long subject. We're gonna be continuing to update it all week if there's anything. I will say, Ali and I are going to Europe on Friday, so we are going to be dipping out. I'm not going to be able to stream any of next week, really. NCAA's is coming up, so we will be streaming NCAA's, the live reactions in a few weeks. That'll be really fun to do. And yeah, there's also, I don't think we're gonna have time. I don't think I really want to keep cooking too much right now, unless you guys want to stay locked in right now. We have a big chat, but I don't think that you guys, I think a lot of people are here to just hear about this Atlanta half marathon situation. But yeah, guys, as we have a big chat in here, please, if you are interested, subscribe to the Athlete Special, subscribe to the Athlete Special clips. Keep following the streams. We have a lot of OGs in here who will talk highly about it. The streams are fun. We cover track stuff. We cover anything running related. We have fun in the chat. We just have a good time. So please follow this. I promise to give you guys the best running content. We're going to be the best running streamer out here. Trust me. No one's doing it like the Athlete Special. I'll self-glaze any day of the week. Any day of the week I'll self-glaze. But unless you guys are cool, I might end stream right around now because, you know, end it while it's hot. Maybe in the next day or so, I will cover the USATF track and field events that happened over the weekend. A lot of crazy stuff. Cole Hawker got upset in the 15. He pulled off the win in the 3K. Nikki Hiltz proved their dominance in the 15. One of the best on the women's running side we've seen in a long time. I think Nikki Hiltz has won 6 straight 15 titles. So Nikki Hiltz is on fire right now. The stud himself, Cooper Lutgenhouse. I almost called him Luker Kuchtenhouse. Cooper Lutgenhouse, the 17-year-old stud, won the men's 800, one of the youngest winners of a USATF final for 800 meters. So fantastic for him. Yeah. And basically, what else happened? Huge upset in the men's 15. I should give Nathan Green his flowers. He pulled off the win. Former UW athlete. So that was crazy to see. Again, I would love to show you guys the footage and analyze this race because there's so much to analyze about all these races that happened. But I'm afraid of NBC. I'm not gonna lie. I'm afraid of NBC. I actually was warned by my friend Total Running Productions. If you follow that channel, he said, hey man, just watch out for NBC, watch out for USATF. They will try to give your channel strikes. So I can't be showing too much footage because they immediately will just get on your case. So it's super lame. It's super lame. NBC's the worst. So yeah, Total Running Productions just made a video. Is the video on this race? Maybe we could watch that real quick and I could end stream, or I could just end now. It'd be interesting to get even more info on this situation. I mean, but you guys got as good of info as you could possibly get. You got the Ali O insight on it. I could try to pull it up though right now if Total Running Productions is talking about the Atlanta Turngate situation. Guys, we're coining that term first. Turngate 2026. Heard it here first on the Athlete Special Show. Turngate 2026, where Jess McClain led 4 runners astray. We'll see if Total Running Productions has anything to say about this. If it's not this, okay, he does have something to say about it. He just posted. Do we want to watch this real quick? Or are we good, people? Do we want to watch this? Do you want a monologue and then end stream, or should we just take a quick gander at this? Because we could take a quick gander at this and then I could dip out. Okay, here we go. Nice algo there. I honestly don't. This is just my burner account that I use. We'll take it. Yeah, we'll take a look at this. I mean, I love my boy Total Running Productions. I almost hate just siphoning his content for just free stream stuff, but we should take a look at what he's saying here. We'll get the YouTube premium up pretty soon, folks. We're just a little broke alert right now, but that David super chat's never gonna hurt, I'd say. Definitely doesn't hurt at all. Okay. I'll skim a little bit and just see if we can get to a good spot here.
2026 has finally concluded with some incredible results. We saw a few records fall. We saw new names crowned as national
I'm not subscribed because this is my burner. I don't subscribe to anyone on my burner.
champs, and we got to see new faces that could impact the sport in a big way. But over in Atlanta, Georgia, something terrible happened, and many people are understandably very frustrated. At the 2026 U.S. Half Marathon Championships, the top 3 positions looked settled. And this is important because the top 3 not only get prize money for their efforts, but they get a qualifying ticket to the World Road Racing Champs later this season, a celebration of the fastest road runners on the planet.
Let's see what he's got to say. Let's see what Andrew's got to say.
Just 1 mile remaining, the top 3 really seemed to be set. And up front, running extremely quickly, was Jess McClain, who was on pace to run a very impressive time, somewhere around 66 to 67 minutes.
She was crushing.
But then, it happened. In a moment of pure and utter confusion, the lead pacing vehicle and camera operator took a left turn with less than a mile to go in this championship. And the unfortunate part here is that they were supposed to go straight. This is the official course set by the Atlanta Track Club before the start of this half.
Okay, we've seen this all, people. We've seen this all. They're talking here. I wonder if he's got anything to say, though. Oh, wait, guys, look. Oh, guys, look, it's Allie.
6 minutes. Jess
It's Allie right here.
in first place to finishing in 9th.
Allie's going for the
Because of
hawk
this,
down.
She missed out on $20,000 and a chance to run for her country later this season in the World Racing Champs. Now, when we look at the results here, we can see that the eventual winner, Molly Bourne, ran these splits for each 5K. And when we track the splits for McClain, we can see that she was severely affected by this exact situation. And this really did seem to be
2
out of her
minutes.
control.
Screwed by over
Now,
2 minutes.
This didn't have to be the end of the story. I mean, surely there was something that the race officials
I hope he
could
talks
do,
about the
given
USATF
that the lead
aspect.
vehicle turned instead of going straight, right? Well, unfortunately,
Turn
perhaps
gate, baby.
not.
Turn
Soon
gate.
after the finish, USATF released a statement saying that following the completion of the USATF Half Marathon Champs, a protest was filed by the athletes in the women's field, who had followed a lead vehicle off course. That protest was denied, but then an appeal was submitted by the athletes. The jury of appeals found that the event did not meet USATF Rule 243 and that the course was not adequately marked at the point of misdirection. This violation contributed to the misdirection taken by the athletes within the top 4 at the time of the misdirection. However, the jury of appeals finds no recourse within the USATF rulebook to alter the results of the finish.
That's okay, guys. Let me just say this. That is so dumb because they're basically acknowledging that they did something wrong. They're saying, we know we effed up, but we're not going to fix it. I just don't understand. So what's the point of even having a rule book if the rule was broken? So the rule was broken. Also, W error here. Athletes, not athletes. Come on, Andrew, you got to get your spelling right here, man. But I literally don't understand. I literally don't understand how that is even a thing. Like, how can you acknowledge that the rule 243 was not adequately followed, which is that the course needs to be well marked, but then, so you're acknowledging that you guys messed up on one of your rules, but you're not going to do anything? I don't know. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I literally, it's just like, it's like, yeah, I shot that guy, but yeah, I'm not going to go to jail.
The result as posted is considered final. Now, there were some additional pieces of information stating that they plan to look at the event carefully and that their process will ensure that a decision is made in the best interest of all the athletes involved. But to hear that these results were final and that no accountability was put into place from the race organizers.
I heard that they did throw Atlanta Track Club under the bus in the next sentence, goat, bloat. I did hear that. And one of my friends is like very involved in the Atlanta Track Club, and he was like, look, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it all comes down to the fact that the lead car made the error, and like it was just a huge mess up on their end. And he's like, obviously Atlanta Track Club is going to take some responsibility, but he's like, it's crazy how USATF just like tries to scapegoat, because they're like, yeah, well, if you have any further questions, talk to Atlanta Track Club. They set up the meet, they set up the event, so anything that, you know, was messed up is their fault. I mean, they didn't say that, but they kind of assumed that. Go talk to Atlanta Track Club is literally the absolute, yeah. That's kind of what they said. It's tough, but I know I'm not going to put down Atlanta Track Club. I know people there who are associated. I think it's a good organization. I know that they've made mistakes, but I think that don't be, USATF wants you to hate Atlanta Track Club and blame them and say, oh, they suck. But USATF is, Ali said it best earlier, USATF chose Atlanta Track Club to host this event. It was on USATF. It's like if you hire someone for a job and your employee messes up to the higher ups of you, then it is your responsibility. That's how it works. That's why when you hire someone and pay someone who's like under you, like you're the one responsible. That's why you make the big bucks. That's literally why you make the big bucks. So if you want to be the top of the food chain, which is USATF, you have to take accountability at the highest level. That's how any business would work.
Is undeniably frustrating. This left many people feeling completely helpless.
W Alley though,
based on this
W Alley going
situation.
for the hawk
Even
down.
the eventual winner, Molly Bourne, stated that I don't really feel like a U.S. champion, and she also stated that she really feels bad for the lead group, and that the rules currently don't allow for Jess McClain or the other original top three to qualify for the world team because they finished beyond 5th place, which is
Allie went over
simply
this. Allie went over this.
unacceptable.
Yep.
Within just a few hours of this race finishing, there were so many angry posts being put up online about how unfair this actually is. Because
And here we are. We're an angry post too.
Simply followed a car off course. So how could the inevitable winner not be given some form of compensation beyond just 9th place? Now, I wanted to step away from this script for a second because there are many people saying that they should have known this course. And I want to put up the picture of this course once again because imagine you're in first place.
Yeah. We can skip a little bit further. I want to see if Andrew talks about USATF more, but no, this is, I mean, we've been over this, guys. It's so dumb to say, well, it's just it's literally a rage bait to be like, the athletes should have known the course. It's like, no, just stop it. And on top of that, David East in the chat has made an amazing point. Okay, so yeah, you want to use the excuse athletes should have known the course, right? That point is taken away when you take into account the people who lead the course are responsible for leading the athletes in a safe area. So let's say there was an emergency going on in the race and they had to quickly change the direction of the course because maybe there was a fire, maybe there was a car accident, maybe there were gunshots. it is on the lead car, I believe, or it's on the race officials to make sure that the athletes are led in a safe direction. So saying, oh, the athletes should know the course. No, you should follow the lead car because they're also trying to lead you to safety in an emergency situation. So boom, boom. There we go. Oh, camera froze again? Okay, Christ. All right, well, let's finish this video up. You know what I'll do is I'll just take my camera out of here so you can't see it. I'm so annoyed my camera keeps dying on me, but I'll take my face off the screen so you can't see my beautiful face anymore. But yeah, just listen to the video. I'll be making my points, and then I'm gonna dip out after because you can tell I'm definitely getting sick. But yeah, I think that's a W point right there.
Place. Imagine you're running very quickly, probably close to 520 per mile, if not faster. You're telling me that you know every single turn of this course by heart. I highly doubt that. Also, it's important to add here that the full marathon course actually did include this section that McLean ran here. And if you take a closer look at some of the pictures, there are cones on the road where she was running here, so it was very easy to get confused. And if you had to take...
We'll keep skipping around here. Guys, even though you can't see me, I can still be heard. Let's see what they're saying.
There was actually an incorrect turnaround. So all of the finishing times did not reach the standard for Boston qualifiers.
Oh, they're talking about the last year. Okay, I do feel kind of bad siphoning from Andrew. So you know what, guys, camera's dead. I think that's the sign that it's time to end stream. Guys, thank you so much for joining today's stream. You're gonna see my beautiful frozen face in about 1 second, if not already. But yes, thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. W for the frozen face, but guys, this was such a great stream. We're gonna keep talking about this subject later. W's in the chat for this, guys. Thank you so much. And with that, we're gonna see you guys the next few days, and then I'm out for a week. So with that, guys, W's again. Outro song coming in hot. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you guys in the next stream. W's, people. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for all tuning in today. I know my face is frozen, but my heart is with you guys. So appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you guys coming in for the stream. I gotta eat. I gotta get some food in. I gotta take some electrolytes. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. We'll keep talking about this later in the week, but I'll get my camera fixed too. And yeah, guys, again, if you like this stream, follow in. I'll be streaming 6 p.m. EST most days of the week. Most days of the week. So with that, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate it. Peace out, guys.
I bought a Benz straight from the trap. I don't like paying no taxes.